water for chocolate. Like water for chocolate. Common sense, like water for chocolate. That's what it was called. And that album was the same album that brought you There Are Times When You Need Someone. Yep, from the same album. We know that as The Light. Let's see, where do we want to go? We want to go live on Facebook or you know what? I'm going to go live on YouTube today. In fact, we're going to give this a run. We're going to see what happens with me cranking this Jay Dilla track on YouTube. Actually, let's go the other way. Second thoughts. Gonna go back to Facebook. Gonna flow that way this morning. And if you feel like pinging anybody in, by all means, some of the family. Yes, I'm excited because it's funny. Most people have gotten used to me having a new party hat, a different profile. So now I've been taking this time this week to let the family know I'm back. Let's get it. So if you'd like to ping anyone into this conversation who you think would appreciate it, by all means, I invite you to do that too. By all means, I invite you to do that too. By all means, I invite you to do that too. Today is March 30th. Tomorrow is my baby girl Maylee's birthday. OMG. She'll be 9. Wow. It's one of those situations where you're like, where did the time go? Goodness gracious. Where did the time go? Like Biggie said, it was all a dream. It's the greatest dream ever. Being a father. Wow. So I've had the fortunate opportunity to be a father of a number of things at this point. Like children and businesses and ideas and putting smiles on faces. And I'm happy as always. So yes, my baby girl Maylee will be the new Meadow 9 tomorrow. Wow. So cool. Seems like it was only yesterday that I was not only holding her in my arms, but also talking to her, showing her love, playing music with her, 2 feet across from me, ballet dancing. I remember the first time, let's see if I can put it up on my IG live, my IG page while we're in here, maybe even Facebook. That'll probably be faster. I'm gonna go back while we're in this experience and share this memory on Facebook. The first time that I saw my daughter Aria, she was up on my piano bench. She's up on my piano bench and she gets up on her knees. She's I don't even think she's, you know how people count in months? So maybe she was 14 months. She wasn't that old. She sits up. She knows how to turn my piano on and turn the music on. So she turns the music on and it's this soft piano music, the kind of music that I play today. And then she sits up and she raises her arms and she starts doing these kind of motions. And if you don't see me, oh yeah, that's right. So I'm on Facebook at Aaron Hill TV. So she's waving her arms like this. First time I ever seen it. She's dancing to the piano and feeling every beat, every note, every nook and cranny. And it was the first time that I saw the creative ability and the imagination of my baby girl Aria. It was amazing. Yes, so to be a father, so moments like that, or moments like walking with my baby girl May Lee through the park, out with the girls together, hanging fun, where she's talking about tacos and she's breaking down the science of what tacos she eats and why, and how she feels about filtered water and all this kind of stuff at 5. Yes, had so many fun times as a father. So tomorrow's the baby's girl birthday. She'll be 9. Wow. Yes. Those questions. Where did the time go? Those questions. Where did the time go? OMG. Where did it go? It's the reason why I love being in every single moment. Focusing, honing in, taking advantage of the moment, the time. Because the truth is, it's all we have. Yes, it's all we have. It's the moment. So it's either going to be that you realize that and take advantage of the moment or not. But that's the question. Real talk, that's the question. Are you going to take advantage of the moment, or are you going to let it slip you by? Are you going to be so afraid that you might fail that you won't even try? That's the question. Or are you going to look back and be in that state that we call regret? It's the question. And so the answer lies in you. The answer lies in me. The answer lies in you. So what I choose to do day in, day in, out, is to take full advantage of it. One day at a time, one line at a time, one time for your mind. It's the question. It's the question. It's the question. And I want to say welcome to the AP Morning Show. I'm excited about today as always. Why? Well, you know, I'm always excited about the day and about the ability to stand in accountability with other people. It makes me happy every day. It makes me look in the mirror and say, yay, hooray, glad to be me, proud to be a part of this beautiful humanity. And speaking of which, we had a beautiful human being with us today by the name of Rob Thurkelson. Excited about this conversation. Rob is the bartender at the Cotton Club. Now see, you know, wait a minute. I gotta pause for a second. I gotta pause this music because, to be honest, this is one of those moments where I've been talking about history in the making since the time I got into this application. From December 15th until now, over 90 days. I've been saying that the most unique thing about this environment is what can be done here and how it impacts and how it connects and how unique ideas are able to flourish because it's all about connection. I've also been saying that I am so excited to be in this moment in history with regard to this app because of all of my experience that I've had in technological revolutions and evolutions. So for me, I don't take that for granted, and so I know that these are historic and legendary moments, and so I'm happy to have a legendary moment right now to be able to talk to Rob, who is the bartender at the Cotton Club, the virtual bar. Yes, who'd have thunk it? And so he's also the first person on Clubhouse to put his Cash App in his bio. He has no idea how much I love that, how much I so can appreciate that. Yes, most interesting person on Clubhouse and 2-time finalist in the first annual Clubhouse Dog Show. So you know I'm excited to talk to Rob. Let's get it. Gonna talk to Rob. Good morning, Rob. How you doing, my friend?
Good morning. That is quite the intro. I hope I can live up to it.
Brother, oh my goodness. Man, okay, so, you know, the only fortunate part about this moment, at least for me, is that because of the fact that you've been in this application, you've been in experiences, and you've been in this experience, you know, and enjoying the show from the audience. You already know how I am. You already know my personality. So I can... Yes, Rob. So, man, I'm excited about this moment, like I said, because it's one of those things where I know I've been talking about this ecosystem. I've been talking about this application. I've been talking about this moment that we're in. I've been talking about the fact that we're still in beta and we've come up with some of the most amazing and interesting ideas on the face of the earth. And you, my brother, are a part of one of those amazing expressions. Man, so damn nice to meet you, bro. So
Likewise.
serious.
I mean, for what you are putting in the work, this show creates such a vibe that I'm usually getting ready for work at this time. So
Right.
I've got you on in the background, and it just when I'm thinking about my day and like all the things I have to do, and I just hear your smooth voice and your smooth music, and it just gives me a moment of like, take it easy, Rob. The day's gonna be okay.
Wow. Oh my gosh, man. Did I just hear and understand that one of my favorite people, and you know, someone who's involved with something amazing on this app, that this is the radio show that he enjoys in the midst of all the Clubhouse screets and noise and shits. Did I just hear that? One of my favorite people?
Well, I mean, you were alluding to it a second ago. I was here before there was noise.
Right.
This harkens back to those days where it's just easy to turn on and listen to.
Wow, bro. Wow. Wow.
Like,
Man, you have no idea, man, how much I understand that and how much that really is speaking to me. I'm telling you, bro. Whew, because I can like really imagine, you know, and man, you know, you might have heard me tell, you know, a bit of my story here and there. I jumped on YouTube in 2008. I was a full-time musician, had the beautiful afforded opportunity to live the life of my dream as far as to do what I did in my dreams and what was just about fun for me. And so I was fortunate to, in 2008, get on social media. At that time, YouTube was one of the main things. Before that, I was also on MySpace. And my YouTube life exploded. I put together 2,000 videos on one channel, went from 0 to a 70,000 subscriber audience. That turned from a 0 to 6-figure business in 4 years. And it was all on the back of what you hear in the background that I started off in life just doing for fun.
That's fantastic. That's incredible.
Thanks, man. Yeah, and the reason why I say that is really to point to this next point, that in the midst of that, I would then find myself as an entrepreneur and as a business guy, and I'll be able to start like really honing in on a lot of things around that. Technology, ideas, innovations, evolution of business, entrepreneurship, content, branding, marketing, you
don't have a choice. You have to learn all that other stuff when it's your business.
You're right. So, with that, the thing that I'm most grateful for is it allowed me to understand amazing, revolutionary, earth-shattering, earth-giving, life-giving ideas, when I see them. So when I saw Clubhouse, I saw the same thing that I've been educated through, by life and by experience over those years. And it ever since I got on here in December, I've been like this every day, as they say, lit, so that's why it's so exciting to meet you, because you take that, and then you take some of the people that have been a part of this revolutionary idea from the early days of it. You know what I mean?
I mean, this place is incredible, and I mean, you know me from the Cotton Club. Umani, Kadir, Shane, Jaleesa, we've created a community here on Clubhouse that is just unbreakable. We're adding Domo to our crew of we're just a crew, the show, the vibe.
Right.
We've tried to mess it up. We've tried to be mean to the customers. We've tried having technical difficulties that last 30 to 40 minutes.
Right.
It doesn't matter. The people keep coming back because
I love it.
We just provide a feeling that they want to be a part of, and I could not be more grateful for it. It's amazing.
Oh my gosh, man! Look, let me tell you, man. Knowing what I know, to hear someone talk about an idea that, like you said, no matter what you tried to do, it still just worked in the favor of bringing even more attention, even more like, oh, we love you, even more good vibes, man. And this is why it doesn't surprise me that you enjoy this experience, because when you're good people and when you have an intention foundationally of just being good to people, giving them a good experience, when you're coming from that pure place, it means that no matter what you do, you still do it in love, or in in integrity. Yep. And so you guys can't help it. You guys are people who care, and you're in an environment where caring is actually appreciated.
It's kind of crazy, because when you first messaged me about doing this, I'm pretty standoffish. I don't like stranger danger. I don't like meeting new people in this kind of what do you want from me? What's going on?
Right.
I listened to your show for 5 minutes. I listened to it, and like I said, while I was getting ready, I even was listening to it at work. So I wasn't really listening, and I've still got the paranoid bit in the back of my head saying, what does this guy want from you? What does he want from you? Right. And without even really hearing your words, I'm just like, this guy is good people. You're gonna give in, so just tell him, because you're not going to get any new information by hearing words. You already know everything you need to know.
Right. I love it, Rob. I love it. I love it, man. As a person who, so one of the things that I am, man, one of the deepest things that I am is an empath. I'm an empath to the core. And so one of the things that feeds me is just showing people that I care, or just taking a moment to make a positive connection with someone. And when you add that to the fact that, and you've probably heard me say it, that I'm in school for psychotherapy, and I've been studying psychology for longer than I've known that I was studying psychology. I say I'm in school for psychotherapy to be a professional, to become a professional empath, and I'm already an empath. So here we go. Let's just have some fun, man, and love on some people. Goodness gracious, man. So that it means the world to me to hear what you just said and to know what it means, bro. It's just so nice to meet you. And the other thing that's fun for me about this is I could understand how you felt, especially when you were like, well, look, I don't have a business product or service. And I was like, let me make sure this brother knows that actually all I want to do is just hang out with him. I'm like all I want to do. I have met someone who obviously, from being a part of something as positive as the Cotton Club, obviously is my peeps in the same way like you said. And that was what made me just be like, yeah. So here we are, man.
That's the thing. I don't have anything to... The Cash App in my bio.
Right. Classic. Oh my God.
Just a little history of Clubhouse lesson. I joined back in August.
Right.
It was very Silicon Valley.
Yes.
Through a friend of a friend, I got in. There was absolutely no earthly reason why I should have been an early user on Clubhouse. But it happened.
Yes.
Through the magic of the world, I ended up here.
Hey Rob, you've listened to this show long enough to hear these words right here that I say, serendipity plus intention equals life. It's amazing just how shit happens. So go ahead, man. I'm loving it. I'm listening. Oh my God. Amazing.
So here I am, Mr. Nobody in the land of Silicon Valley, where every room, every second, someone is pitching their startup to some venture capitalist saying, invest in me.
Right.
And I've got nothing to pitch.
Right.
So I just start making jokes and I say, hey, just give me money. My Cash App there's no startup, there's no seed round. It's just, I'm funny, give me money.
Look, I want to give you some money right now, just from that statement, bro. And look, this is one for you. And the brother Ken can probably attest to this, bro. What you just said, is that your motto already? I'm funny, give me money. If it's not, please, I'm telling you, with all the creative brand and marketing strategy in me that I know, bro, keep that, because that's gold right there. I'm funny, give me money, because I want to pay you right now just for that. You just gave me life and therapy and laughter and whew. Oh my God. Now you know why I'm fan guying right now. I'm fan guying, you know what I'm saying? Like, So yeah, this early day. So you said the room, people are pitching startups. Like you said, you don't have an idea necessarily, but then again, you do have an idea.
Well, hold on, whoa. I'm not getting credit for this idea. Like, hold on. Like, so early days.
Yeah.
There are not many rooms.
Right.
Everyone on here is important. I see one of my favorite sports journalists in a room, Boumani. So I join the room, and it's not my favorite sports journalist. It's just some guy.
Okay.
It's just some guy named Boumani.
Right. Just some dude, just some random dude,
Yeah. And, this is a little weird, but also another thing that happened back in the early days of Clubhouse is it was very white.
Yeah.
So it was, I go into a room
Right.
with Bumani, a
Right.
black guy,
Right.
and I notice all of a sudden I'm in a room with multiple black people, which hadn't happened on Clubhouse yet.
Right. That's interesting. You know, it's funny when I hear you say this. One of the other funny things that comes to mind is I was in the Clubhouse birthday, the Clubhouse turns one, birthday room.
Right.
And I remember listening to the stories because I was honed in. I was like, man, this is life to me because I love a good story and I love how ideas unfold. I love that stuff. It's fascinating to me. And so one of the things that they told that was a funny memory was they said one time everybody turned their profile picture to like white and then told Paul to come in the room or told Rohan, and they were like, something's wrong, something's wrong. And I was just like, man, you have no idea. I would pay now money, like just to be able to zap back in time and just magically be a part of that environment. Because again, it's those early times that as time goes on with something as revolutionary as this app, is when those stories become even more golden, like, and magical and fun and beautiful. So, man, oh man, oh man, I want to do a quick refresh. Oh man, I want to do a quick refresh. So, good morning to everybody. As always, welcome to the AP Morning Show. Today, I'm here with Rob Thurkelson. Who am I pronouncing your last name correctly? Rob, is it Thurkelson? And so I'm here with Rob from the Cotton Club. We're just hanging out, and I'm just having fun. Having fun talking to Rob about just early Clubhouse and what it was like. So yeah, Rob. Sorry, man. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. And yes, you are saying my name right. It is a lot easier than a lot of people just say that's a lot of letters. I'm done. But you went for it and you succeeded. Well done.
Shout out to Mom, who said that reading was fundamental and who made it possible by putting words on everything from the moment I was born.
Learned you could.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man, back to the stories. Okay, so we're in this. Oh yeah, so the thing with the white profile pics, man, I just thought that was hilarious. I was like, thinking about those practical joke time, those glitchy times, those funny ass, like, remember when we could only get this amount of people in the room and we broke the system? Yeah, man. So anywho,
we're still, just so you know, we're still in those times.
Right? Exactly.
We
Exactly.
gotta verbalize that, because I've been a victim of it myself, saying, oh man, it's not like how it used to be. We're still in the used to be.
Yes. Because it's still so early. We're still in fucking beta. Oh my God.
So, but yeah, back in the day, there were many opportunities to prank the founders.
Yes, I can only imagine, man.
But so I met Bumani, and personal history, I don't have many black friends.
Right.
So I was very cautious of not cautious to not say the wrong thing, to not just be an asshole when I come in.
Right.
So I did a lot of listening, and the fascinating thing for me was black people talk to each other differently than when a white person is talking with them.
Let's talk about it. Right.
I mean, I kind of knew that already, but how could I see it? Because every time I'm there in a room, I'm a white person in the room. But Clubhouse brings us this natural thing where you're in your house talking as you would in your house.
Right.
Naturally and free flowing with your friends, and you don't realize that there's a creepy redhead is sitting in the corner. So after hanging out with Bumani, Kadir, and a few others, for 20 minutes, I make one joke, and then stop talking for another 20 minutes and make one joke. After about 3 days of 20-minute jokes, I became part of the group. then I was not allowed, but then I started
Yeah, I get
speaking
it.
more and having, actual conversation.
Yeah, look, let me tell you something. And again, this is giving me so much life right now. So much life. Like, so much life. Let me tell you why. So I understand on such a foundational level what you're saying, and even getting into just listening to you and empathizing and understanding your experience, from being an empath and just putting myself in your shoes. Let me tell you something. I have something that I've been calling my manifesto of Clubhouse. And I want to read it to you. And
Okay.
yeah, and I've read this on this show countless times now, in these last 100 and so days. But today is significant because people have felt me or understood me at different levels. But one of the things about life is that the greatest education a lot of times is not academia, it's direct life experience. Because when you experience something directly, it allows you to know something on a different level. Like, I would argue that it actually redefines what it means to have knowledge. So, and thank you. New message from Andre Baldwin. Andre Baldwin says thank you as my computer pings away. So I'm saying this to say that when I came into this app, the thing that I said was that the Clubhouse app is the answer to all of humanity's problems. And yes, I said all. In fact, I'm getting ready to repost this on my Instagram again, so you all can have it, read it. You can just, because I know what I'm saying with this. And this moment is significant because, again, when you have someone who has had a longer experience with something, then it can be understood on a deep level. And so between you being in this app for the time that you have and the evolution of it, and what you're saying right now about your experience, this is why I've been saying what I've been saying. And I just really believe you'll understand it, and I believe you'll be able to appreciate it. So here we go. Again, the Clubhouse app, this Clubhouse app is the answer to all of humanity's problems. And yes, I said all. Here's why. Now, I'm going to add one more thing to that. This Clubhouse app and the beautiful people in it and the moments of serendipity and intention that turn out to be beautiful moments and progressions forward in this thing called evolution is why I say this is the answer to all of the world's problems. Every day, I understand more and more why I feel so deeply that Clubhouse is the answer to every problem we've ever had as a humanity. It teaches us how to be a better humanity, work together, have conversations, and check our egos at the door. You have to, if you agree to listen in or be a part of the conversation. Here's the list. Here's what the things that you have to do. It's interesting, but it makes sense to me. You have to listen to opinions, both in alignment with yours and not. You have to allow others to speak. You have to be mindful of others. You have to be your real, authentic self. You have to treat others with respect. You have to help people versus just selling to them. You have to be accountable to others. You have to be empathetic and patient and honest. You have to say thank you and please and exhibit decent manners. And you have to disagree amicably. And the literal development of the app is a process of the creators and the innovators like yourself, learning how to help us to be a better humanity all together. We're in it. We're doing it right now. We're writing the script of our lives. And we've never thought about how to be harmonious on this level. This is the future. This will forever change our world. I've been calling this thing the world's first 6-degree of separation remover, the no excuser, the I can find my tribe, the I can ask the questions live, the I can give the people the information that I've been giving them on a regular basis already. But this makes it more in the moment and potent. I've also been calling this thing Telephone 2.0 because think about it. They reintroduced the telephone to us, and then they added, because of where we are in time, the innovation of adding the visual to it, where you can actually see text and you can see pictures of at least the people you're talking to be able to connect, because that's who we are. And all it is based on the most foundational thing to the human being when it comes to communication and conversation. And that is just talking to each other. This is the future. This will forever change our world in a way that some of the other applications can't match. So that's my manifesto, and that's my story, and the motherfucker's sticking to it because I know it's true. Come on, Rob. Tell me. You know what I mean, Rob?
I know what you mean. You know, my natural self doesn't like, saying all and will all the time. I understand the positivity of it.
Yeah.
But, part of me wants to say, like, it can change humanity if we work it right.
And here's the thing, change is inevitable, right? Because that's just,
right.
You know what I mean? What and I feel what you're saying in respect, like I totally feel, because things can go anyway. Like, shit is not promised. We can use this shit to blow up the world or heal each other. But let me tell you something, Rob, that's interesting about it. And I think it's, to me, it's the bottom line of this thing called empathy. And I've been saying this for the past couple years. The way that I look at empathy is that if, like, empathy is not promised, if empathy is going to unfold or develop in a human being, then from what I see, from what I can ascertain, like from my experience and just looking, it's like it seems to come from when you can be in connection with someone else, understand or hear their story, or like hear, like it's that connection. And it doesn't mean that you'll always agree, not at all. But I feel like in an environment where all conversations can happen, it seems like you have more of a chance of it equaling us evolving, like, to, I mean, but it's still, of course, it still pours back into the deep ocean of subjectivity. And so, but it's interesting to me. And I just think that if nothing else, the good that has happened is amazing to me, and the good that continues to happen every day. Good shit like the damn Cotton Club, which every week hosts people and puts smiles on people's faces, whether they're trying to or not.
It's true. Yeah.
It's interesting.
It is true. A lot of good, there's been a lot of charity on this app, and there's still a lot of great ideas that are building further, trying to help the world, because smart people without gatekeepers are talking to each other.
Yeah, man. You're absolutely right. So I want to ask you this question, and this is, like I said, I was so looking forward to this because this whole Clubhouse evolution is fascinating to me. And like you said, you're right. We're still in those times now. Rob, this is why I'm over the top extra every day, because I know that I'm so aware that we're making history right in this moment, that we're in the evolution of a thing, that it's still in beta, and we get to be ambassadors and develop the etiquette and just try to show the way in the most positive way possible. Like it's groundbreaking, But with all that being said, I want to ask you, and I think you were getting to it. Can you tell me about, just continue to tell me about how the Cotton Club got started, and then just, from there, like as we bring it up to today, because this is an exciting journey with the Cotton Club.
I mean, the real true story is it's lost to history of memory loss, because we didn't know we were starting the Cotton Club.
Right.
When we started the Cotton Club.
Right. So tell me that. So what were you all doing? Like, what, we just hung out and played music? What?
Yeah, we were hanging out, and another friend who doesn't use Clubhouse too much anymore,
right,
was just playing music in the back, like playing it on his laptop and holding his phone to the laptop.
Yes.
And then he would probably just go to sleep, because we were just hanging out.
Right.
And I think Bumani started like, oh, who is this? Let me look that person up. Oh, here's a black and white picture of that person. And that just kind of kept happening, where it's like, oh, who is this? Oh, let's look at them. And then like someone's like, oh, can you play this song? I like this person. Here's my picture. And keep in mind, this is only like 5 people hanging out in a room where random people are coming in and out. It's not a thing.
Right.
I have absolutely no idea how it happened the next week.
And look, that's the story even to today. Like, I have no idea how this should happen again today. It's just that ongoing, like, that never ending experience, where it's like, well, damn it,
Like, I remember I showed up into the room not knowing the music that, I didn't know. I was like, hey, what's going on?
Right.
And I noticed all of my black friends are in black and white pictures of musicians. So I'm like, all right, here's Billy Joel.
Right.
My first concert. Like, what's up, guys?
Right.
And like, no, Rob, that's not what we're doing. And I'm like, and I did, for the first couple of times we did this little experiment, which, again, we weren't trying to attract a crowd. We were just listening to music and talking our normal, bullshitting selves.
Right.
Everyone was changing their picture quickly, and like this music, and I just couldn't keep up. I don't know that many musicians who would have been in the Cotton Club.
Right.
We started, so I was like Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra. I was like, does this count? Is this okay? And then I just started making people drinks. Like someone said, like, oh man, I wish I could, like, I wish we were in a bar now. Like, this sucks. I'm like, oh, well, I can handle that.
Right. So then you create the virtual drink, like you.
Exactly. Like, I honestly don't remember who, how, what.
Right.
But the idea was, I can't keep up with the musicians I'm PTR into.
But I can keep up with the drinks.
I need to find a way out of that, but still be able to hang out in this room.
Right.
You guys are awesome. So let's keep doing this.
Yes.
Please don't kick me out for being a loser.
Oh my goodness, Rob. Let me tell you something. One of the things when I'm having conversations with people is I'm always looking for points of connection where we have like similar stories. Again, to me, it's the breeding ground of empathy. It's the breeding ground of being able to relate and have empathy and have all those things for each other, like, care about each other, not hate, blah, blah, blah. So with what you just said about the Cotton Club, it's funny because it actually explains a small segment of my life, which actually fast forwards to how I got into music as becoming a full-time musician. I was in my local church, and I was about 15 years old. And in my church, they kind of forced you to do something. Like, you either had to be an usher at the door, or you had to be a minister, or you just had to do something. So
right.
they first, directed me in the direction of being a minister. And you know, I cooperated and
I ministered, I guess.
yeah, right. I administered. And so what I would get to was a place where I would say, I respect this for other people, but this is not for me. But because again, you had to do something, I had to pick something else. So I looked over in my church, I looked over at the music section where the instruments were and the musicians. And I was like, well, I'm into music. I was making beats like the one you hear in the background. And I was like, I can go over there because I like music. And when I went over there, it's what broadened my perspective of music. It's what made me fascinated with it to the degree where I would want to become a musician. I would want to keep hanging out with these people in this section and in this church, and to be accepted and all these things. So it's so fascinating to me when you say that, and how I think like, wow, this is funny. You turned into the virtual bartender in the same way that I turned into a musician. It's amazing. Wow. Okay, so you start. So is it like you said, since you couldn't keep up with the figures, was it that, well, you could keep up with the drinks, right?
Pretty much, yeah. You know, people would come in, see me as a drink. Hey, Rob, I want a sidecar. I want a martini.
Right.
And, you know, sure.
Yeah.
I'm here. Why not?
Yes. So let me ask. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying, we did that. It was one of those things where we'd start talking and just be hanging out, and then eventually the music would come on, and then like it would turn into like late night us. Right. Was just where we turn on, you know, and at the end, you know, this is all over like a 3-week period.
I was going to say, when did it start? I was just about to ask you that.
Because the first official clubhouse had a club named the Cotton Club was at the end of August.
Got you.
And I, you know, so like.
And before that, how long had you all been just living in that experience? Like,
I have no idea. From the first time someone changed to a black and white picture to the first,
But this would be like around like what month when you all met? I mean, not met, but when you were. Let me ask you a question. Were you literally a part of the first friends, like as far as Paul and Rohan and the?
No.
Got you. Okay, so you came in around what time?
Early August.
You came in early August. Got you.
7th, I think, is my date. Yeah.
Got you. You came in early August, right? Got you.
Yeah.
And you were invited by a friend, or like you? How'd you?
I have a friend who works at a nonprofit in New York City, or created her own nonprofit.
Right.
And but like even my profile was a lie. Like the person who invited me on my profile is a friend of my friend. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no reason for Rob to be on the app that early. Like, it was exclusive to Silicon Valley and important people. And Rob.
Oh my God! Oh my God! You have no idea. You have no idea how much life this is giving me right now. To know this, to have learned this story. Oh my gosh. Because again, it's what I say when I say serendipity plus intention equals life. Do you remember, did you ever watch The Price is Right?
Yeah. Every time I was sick.
So on The Price is Right, what was your favorite game?
Plinko.
Oh man.
It's so much fun.
Yes.
Bing, 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 bing.
And here's the interesting part. Once again, the serendipity and the intention again. Plinko was my favorite game before I even knew why. I was fascinated with it, and it was literally based on what I would then be able to define and now articulate. I was fascinated with the fact that this whole game was based on chance.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about chance to the level where there was no way for you to control. There was no way for one person to be better than another at Plinko. Like, I would even argue, especially because of what I know about psychology now and the brain, I would even argue that the spinning wheel, that if a person was smart enough, they can know exactly how much strength to put into it to make only one revolution, or they could study that shit.
Yeah.
But Plinko, god damn it, Plinko, it is totally, you can't, there's nobody that can be better than anybody else. And so just the fact of that, and so this is what I'm saying, Rob, like you said, there's no way, but at the same time, that's the thing that makes life, when things like this happen, so fascinating to me, because here we are and it's like, wow, look at how that shit happened. That's so fascinating, so amazing. And I have this other saying where I say, when amazing moments like this happen in life, things that I find fascinating, when they happen, I am never surprised, but I'm always amazed. Because this is life. These kind of things happen in life alongside other shit, but it's just so fascinating. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, someone had to be on the app. There's absolutely no reason why me being here was remarkable, but it's still amazing.
There you go.
I get that.
And there you go. Because I stand in a position of like I said, a person who stumbled into success with the internet, and I got a chance to learn about technology and evolution and innovation and invention. And so now that I understand that, the stories of how these amazing world-changing things happen, to me, are just so fascinating. So let me take back and I'm enjoying this conversation, and I definitely, if you have a few more minutes, I want to ask you a few more questions, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, a few more minutes.
Got it. Perfect. All right, so I'll wrap it up tight. I'll say, is 5 good? Like under 5?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so thank you, man. I really appreciate you. So you start hanging out, and at this time, then you're hanging out with the crew. You start, like you said, you start hanging out, having this late night thing. It's flow. You officially get to the point of calling it the Cotton Club at that point and going forward with it. At this point, people are, I imagine at this point, people are really starting to tell me about it from that perspective, the audience and you all starting to just see more people, and then more people coming up and talking to you, because I'm curious about that side of the coin.
There is, there's a lot of memory involved here. So I don't have the exact, but
I get it.
Part of that story is Boumani coming on every day and playing his guitar for whoever walked. He was one of the first people to just set up a room by himself, not really talk that much, but people would just come in because he's got one of those magnetic personalities.
Right. He's giving. He's so giving.
Exactly. So he built up a bit of a following. He's, and these two things happened at the same time where I think that's kind of how people came to the Cotton Club, just through Boumani. And at the time, there were so few people that if a room got 30 people in it, well, that's a big deal. I got to see what's going on in there. Right, for sure. So there was a little bit of that. And then at the same time as that's happening, Clubhouse is growing and saying, holy cow, every week this one room has 50 people in it. I'm going to talk about that at the town hall because that's our biggest room. Right. So, Boumani has a small following. The club gets a bigger following. Clubhouse starts promoting us is a strong word, but they're, I get it. They're acknowledging us, I guess. Is a fair way to say it. Because
people are, one, of course, the app is built on, like I said, it's nothing, like Paul always says every week, it's nothing without the people. And then secondly, it's bringing people good energy, good vibes, good feelings, making their lives just a little bit better. And I appreciate this. So I'll ask you this last question, and we'll tie a bow on this. So fast forward to today, what's the format like when you come to the Cotton Club, what's the format? And then of course, how frequent is it? And, and when,
All right, I suppose I should promote it myself. Wednesday nights at 10:30 Eastern here on Clubhouse. We have a DJ, we have a few co-hosts, and another big advantage to the Cotton Club, especially in the early days, was we don't talk about Clubhouse.
Yeah.
So like we just don't have any drama in there. Everything that happens in the Cotton Club, it's all self-contained. The outside world doesn't affect the Cotton Club.
Ooh. Oh my goodness. Yes.
And so for those of you here on Clubhouse, we have a dress code. You have to change your picture to a black and white picture of your favorite jazz artist.
Yes.
And then you can come on stage. Everyone is welcome on stage as long as you follow that simple rule.
Yes.
And then you can hang out with us. And you know, part of it's COVID, you know, you can't get out. We get that. But part of it's just community in general.
Right.
And you can be, you know, you don't have to get dressed up. You can lay in bed and hang out with 100+ people,
Yes.
all wanting to have a good time.
Oh man, Rob, I so appreciate you. You know this. Like I said, I was really looking forward to this conversation. I'm so glad and thankful and grateful to you that you agreed to have the conversation. Like you said, you know, amidst the normal feelings that would come about around this. And
thank you so much.
Yeah, man, you're welcome. And like I said, am I one of the first people to even, you know, talk to you and ask you some of these questions on the, you know, in there?
I mean, here's the thing. I ride Boumani's coattails pretty hard.
Right.
So like, if he's like, there have been a couple times where like he was getting interviewed and like, oh, Rob's here too. Let's talk to him. But you're the first to single me out and say, I want to talk to you. Man, so that makes me feel all the feelings.
Wow. So. Brother Rob, I so appreciate you, and I thank you for this time, man. It's been amazing, and I'm honored. And I'm happy. I'll be there this Wednesday. I can't wait. Wednesday night, I'll be there, all dressed up in my nines. Yes, and I'll see you soon. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day today.
Thank you so much. I hope all your friends here have a great day. Thank you, everyone, for sharing some time with me. Wednesday nights at 10:30. Have a great one. Thank you.
Take care, Rob. Much love and much respect, even more to you. Thank you. Family. Man, oh man. So you all always know how excited and how happy I am about this show every day. OMG. No matter what. And equally, I'm excited about every experience and every opportunity, because I take it in all at the same level, all in this grateful place of opportunity and unity amongst all people. To be all things to all people. To be all things to all people. To be all things to all people. Real talk. That's what it's about for a guy like me. And it always has been, thanks to my mom. Earlier known as Mommy. Yes. So I'm glad to have that conversation with Rob. And because again, when you know what you know that right now, this time is so amazing that we're in. We are making history right now. We are making history right now. You are making history right now. Yes, I promise you this. And I think about legacy every single day of my life. And the thing that's most fun about my life, I happen to be fortunate to be able to ride the wave of every single day, being able to just see what is the legacy thing of the day for me. What is the thing where you don't know which way the journey is going to turn? So I had no idea that this Clubhouse thing would come about. I had no idea that this would be something that was a part of my legacy, but it makes sense. As I look around me, this is what I create. This is what I every day push for. It's what I try to live by example to show other people. in any way that I can. Because like I always say, and like Mahalia said it, if I can help somebody, then my living isn't in vain. And since I already know that my living isn't in vain, then I'll just spend my time helping people and saying hi to people. Like hi to my people. Marcy, Delia, Ro, Tanisha, Meyer, Ken, Eric. Family, it's so good to see y'all as always. And you know how it is. If you'd like to come up to the stage, by all means, throw up that wave. Because, man, I'm just ready to continue celebrating about what just happened here. Yes. And by all means, and if not, and you just want to keep hanging out in the background, allowing this to be the thing that gets you through your Zoom meeting or gets you to your work meeting or on that drive, take it easy, don't be speeding, then by all means, you can do that too. You can do that too. Ken, as always, bro.
Morning, partner. What's happening with you?
Bro, I just needed to take a.
Yeah, that was serious.
Broski. And I'm so glad. Again, the serendipity plus intention equaling beautiful things in life. Because out of all the people that I've met here on this app, you are another brother who firsthand can relate to, you know, we've been finding points of relation and connection, all kinds of things since day one. You've become one of my favorite brothers, just period in life. You, the good brother Eric Meyer, like, yo, it's so much good fam.
But hey, man, I echo the sentiments, brother.
Thanks, man.
Clubhouse is it's a weird, crazy, enjoyable thing now.
We are in the vortex. You have now entered the vortex.
Yeah, man. So what's good? I mean, appreciate the show as usual. Everybody, you know, being accountable. Glad to be in the space. I'm about to hit the gym in about 15 minutes.
That's what's up, bro. Man,
trying
yeah.
My man Eric to go to the gym today. He
yes.
To the gym today.
Well, you know, Eric has the gym takeover, man. He has the, you know, that gym takeover flow, bro. Like, you know, you see Eric going, you just like, yeah, man, I am super motivated. Right after, I'm like, man, what the hell am I doing with my life?
No, but I haven't been in a while, man, because I've been moving and doing other stuff. So Ken busting my chops right now. So, but that's cool.
Says the man that continues to have the debonair and the suave and the physique to go with it. Because, God damn it, when you work out, as long as you do, bro, the shit just hangs around for a little bit longer.
I'm thankful for that. I swear I am.
Oh, man. Now, you know me,
COVID
bro. I'm only serious.
COVID did everybody dirty. People didn't know they were gaining weight.
Right. That COVID weight is immediately forgivable. It's like, yep, this is the perfect time for emotional intelligence for forgiveness. Because, God damn it, I cannot hold it against myself. Do you know what the last year was like, motherfucker? Do you know?
You know about these chocolate donuts?
I know about those chocolate donuts.
Let's get it.
Why you say chocolate donuts? Why you do that? Oh, Ken. Come on, bro. I'm sipping on a smoothie. You talking about some chocolate damn donuts. Man.
Do you know you talking to Cookie Monster? Gonna talk about some donuts. Nah, that's all good, fam. But yo, that's what it is though. This past 2020, that's why I was like, yep, I'm in that palm tree flow, baby. I am bending with the changing winds. I'm on some Matrix shit. Look, y'all, you all are living in the experience of me, like my forgiveness 2020 moment was literally me being like, all right, so, you know, I wasn't at all beating myself up about getting up at a particular time and all that. No, flow. Real talk, flow, like the whole year. And then I was like, okay, all right, we're going into 2021. I might want to get my shit together a little bit, you know, just a little something, you know. So I'm 7:30, you know, and then so here we are. So it's amazing, man. It really, really is amazing. And yeah, and speaking of this, yo, that moment that just happened right now, come on, y'all. I'm still fanboying right now, fan-guying, because I'm gonna tell you something. When you know what you know, and Ken, this is why I was like, yo, so glad for you to pop up, man, because when you know what you know, we're in the midst of a technological revolution. I just got a chance to interview one of the people that's a part of the founding love expressions in this app. The thing that, as this app continues to grow and as it explodes, like, these moments are monumental. We are changing lives right now. And so to have that moment was something that I know for me will always be historic. Like, historic. And every moment for me is historic. But when it's out of beta and the world knows about this, I'm trying to tell y'all, people like the Cotton Club and Bumani and, you know, Paul and Rohan, of course, because they're the developers, and us, like, people that's doing these great things in this app. Man, this is legacy. This is legacy. This brother, I'm sorry, bro.
I don't think people really realize how you don't get the opportunity to get into something early,
right,
and establish a platform,
right, before
it really opens up to the world. I mean, this will be one of those things that if you don't create something, you definitely will regret it,
bruh. Bro, I don't know if you were here. I don't know if any of you all were here. This brother just basically in a nutshell told me that his experience of opening up and having positive experiences with people of color is like, come on, bro. Like, yo, this is what I have been talking about for the last couple years with this concept of empathy. Because I've said this to Coco a number of times. I've said this to just everybody I talk to. It's like, when I'm talking about empathy, I'm like, empathy is one of those things where it's by chance. And that chance is based on this serendipity plus intention. Certain things that we're intending that we're doing, and then other things that are happening alongside of that with other doings and all this kind of stuff. But what happens is, when I look at empathy, if a person is going to have empathy, anybody on the face of this earth, it comes from a particular kind of nurturing, but it also comes from being exposed to other people's experiences, hearing their stories, and finding those points of connection where you can relate. So it's about actually communicating. It's about being around each other. It's about, like, it's literally about that, because you learn it from experience and from being able to relate, and then you can relate. But when you're isolated, or when you're fed like just negative ideas or that kind of thing, and you don't have that integration, then you can't empathize. You don't have a way to relate. So anyway, I know what I heard just now, and that's why I wrote that manifesto. That's why I've been saying every day that this app is the answer to all our problems with regard to that and what it's built on and what we're doing in here. So anyway, I'm sorry. I'm you know, it really makes me that excited and that passionate. Ken, bro, I apologize. Eric, Meyer, open it up.
You ain't did nothing.
Man, I'm curious what you guys, you know, what you all think, what you have to say, man, because I'm lit off of that. Yeah.
No, I agree. Again, you know, this tech wave of the last 10 years has changed. I say 15 has changed the world.
Right.
And in the beginning, we sat by and watched it. Toward the middle, we wish we were a part of it.
Right.
And now we have the opportunity to get in the ground floor.
In it, yes.
So I'm hoping people, you know, no matter what you're doing, to be able to reach more people, whether you're selling something, helping people, or just trying to network.
Yeah.
Creating something in this app now really lays the foundation to exponentially grow whatever you're doing.
Yes. Yes.
Even if you can't see it, because that's the crazy part, because most people didn't know what YouTube was going to be. Right. You didn't really know what Facebook was going to be. You really couldn't see the future, but I think it's always in your best interest to bet on what it could be in your wildest imagination and then run with it that way.
Yo, this, with what this brother just said, and with the fact, okay, the Cotton Club will be in headline news one day. The Cotton Club will be trending on Twitter in a world-renowned way one day, just like Clubhouse, because it's one of those early creations that will forever. I don't know if y'all were here when he said we've tried to. He said we've tried to have technical difficulties. We've tried to they tried everything possible to make the people have a bad experience so that the people can stop asking them to do it. And it doesn't matter what they do, the people still support it and still show up and still like want them to do it. And it makes sense. It's because of the fact that this environment allows you to connect with people in a particular way where you find your tribe, you find the thing that really feeds you, and it's very it can be very harmonious. So the fact that I get to go down in history as the first person to interview the bartender on the Cotton Club, y'all have no fucking idea. Y'all have no idea. No idea. And you probably do at the same time. But it's why I'm so pumped. And so, yeah, family. Oh, and I wanted to add, thanks, man. Thank you. And I want to add one more thing to what you said, Ken. There's so much value that we're able to bring into this app. And I want to give one of the biggest shout outs to the listeners, to the people who aren't here to start rooms. They're just here to listen. And I want to say that because one of the biggest ways to use this app is to just listen to valuable conversations or valuable information or valuable experiences, and then to take that knowledge, that information, or take what that experience makes you feel and use it to go out to do something amazing or be something great or be the greatest that you can be. And so shout out to the listeners, because Rob just told me that basically this show is one for him where it allows him to decompress, all the things that allows everybody to do. But for him, I know he doesn't have time to turn into a whole bunch of other stuff because they run the Cotton Club, and that kind of thing. And from like what he was saying, very much introverted, very much not used to this kind of content. Boom. So it's just, I'm like, wow, confirmation on top of confirmation, and so I'm just grateful. Quick reset to the room, fam. Quick reset. Hello to Coach, Ro, Marcy, Delia, Tanisha. Yes, family. Y'all know what it is. By all means, good morning. Happy Tuesday to you. Thanks for coming through. If you want to come to the stage, by all means, throw up a wave. The main thing, as always, is to say good morning. And then from there, to be able to stand in accountability with you on your day and on your goals. And to keep chopping it up about all this other fun stuff we do every day, Monday through Friday. Let's get it. So going up, throw up a wave, coming up to the stage. And if not, you can go ahead and continue to listen to this in the background as well. By all means, either way, appreciate you. Whoa, didn't mean to do that. Much love. Brother Eric, how you doing again today, bro? How's your morning starting so far, man?
Man, it's great. Everything is gravy. You talk about Ken. Like I said, Ken and I have been commiserating on some things.
Yeah.
And I have something that is coming on June 1st.
Nice.
That is going to be, man, no words yet.
Wow.
But as we go through the days, I'll come up with some. Let's put it like that.
Nice, bro.
It's going to be a culmination of pretty much everything that I have been doing over the years.
Right.
And also a combination of what's been even going on Clubhouse, as well as just the great people that I've met.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to definitely, of course, I always call you Proud Papa. A lot of the things that you've been saying, a lot of the people that you have introduced us to in this space,
right,
has just really motivated me to get started, and then giving me the inspiration to keep going. So, be on the lookout. There's a lot of EYP stuff coming, a lot of content coming through here. Right. Another thing I want to thank you for is thank you for joining my club.
Yes, let's get it. EYP.
And, we got some serious things that are coming. So serious that some of them are going to make you laugh, some of them going to make you cry, some of them going to piss you off, some of them going to make you say, what the fuck? But in the end, you're going to be where you need to be so that you can do what you need to do. Or you're going to be doing what you love to do for the people you love, so you can build a rich and long-lasting, what's that word again? Legacy.
Legacy, baby. Legacy.
Oh, yeah.
God.
Okay, Ken,
hey, bro, I got a
watch this. Did I do a good job?
Yeah, you did a good job. You did a good
bro,
job. I'm gonna clap it up.
I'm gonna tell you how much of a good job you did, bro. So I got a new nickname for you, bro. This is just my personal nickname for you. It's actually how I thought about you since meeting you on this app and all the amazing people. Like everybody is like a unique person to me, right? So my nickname for you is you are the Denzel of Clubhouse, bro. Eric Harrison, you are the Denzel of Clubhouse, bro. And you're Eric. You know, I'm so serious, bro. I gotta
go to the gym for real, man.
Better start playing.
He said, I gotta go to the gym for real.
Hold up, though. Now, that could be kind of insult because I respect Denzel and all, but.
Okay, I meant it in a good way, bro. Yeah.
That little pudge around the gut. Denzel been like popping Denzel lately. So you could be just doing a slight little dig.
Not at all, bro.
You might be just like sliding one in.
Nah, bro. So Denzel in his heyday, bro. I'm talking about like training day Denzel.
Oh, I'll be training day Denzel all day. Okay, I'll take that.
I'll take the pudge. Don't worry about that. Denzel's pudge. I don't care if it's skinny, thick, or pudgy.
I knew Coco was going to say something.
Every day.
I know.
Come on. Woo, baby, pudge it away, baby.
We was all serious. Yes, I'm going to take over the world this morning, and everything's going to be Coco. Yeah, baby, you know.
Oh my God,
snaps
man.
And all. Anyway, I love y'all though, but be on the lookout.
Yes, sir.
Coco's another person that's been, helping me and exhorting me, and it's time. And by the way, I mean, I know she gonna say something when she come up, but man, Coco, we and Kim was talking about you last night. Man, you doing your thing. You doing the thug business. You handling business.
Isn't she?
Your rooms now.
Yes.
I'm just gonna tell you, and for all of those people, all of you that are in here, I will give her the PSA. Listen, if you haven't been in one of her rooms yet, you need to get in there.
What?
That's all I gotta say, because you will, when you leave, you will be better. You will do better. And hey, if you're about, making a little bit of cash and a little bit of coin, you're gonna be ready to do that too.
Yo, you ain't never, ever lie. Telling you, real talk.
And I need my check in the mail, Coco.
It's on the way. It's on the
way.
Cash out. Coco, I take Western Union.
Well, it's coming from Canada, so it's going to take a long time.
Somehow I think I heard that before.
Oh my God, man. Oh man, good times, family. Such good times. Yeah, man, Eric, I'm excited about what you're doing. EYP family. Join the EYP family. Express your perspective. Oh yeah, and don't forget also, join the AP family too as well. I always forget about.
Dude, I was gonna tell you, man, you gotta start saying that, bro. Because you get so caught up.
Here's the beautiful part.
People need to join this.
Right. Here's the beautiful part though. Like the funny thing about how I went from like 0 to where I went on YouTube was like, it was literally being so just caught in the experience of giving and not promoting that the shit just promoted itself. So it's like, every now and then, AP family peeps, let's get it. One love. Yo, Eric, I'm so excited, man, about this Express Your Perspective, the groups, man, the 365, man, just everything that you're doing here, bro. And bro. So that's my new name for you, bro. Not saying I'm gonna wear it out on you, but just know like that's how people got extra names. Yeah, you the Denzel of Clubhouse to me, bro.
Man, I gotta live up to that. If it's Coco say any Denzel, but training day Denzel, yo, I got some.
King Kong
push-ups now.
Right. King Kong ain't got shit on me. Yo, that shit right there, bro. Oh man. So anywho, yo, it's so good to hang out. Brother Meyer, what's going on, fam? How's it going, man?
What's good? I need to rewatch Training Day.
You said what, yo?
I need to rewatch Training Day. I haven't seen that.
Oh my god,
Yo,
classic lines,
you
bro.
No, bro.
I think that's the thing. He doesn't know.
It's a classic. No, I do know.
Right.
I was late to the party on it though, so I pretty much only saw it for the first time like 2 years ago.
So it's hilarious. I was just when we was talking to Rob earlier, and I was talking about like my new definition of knowledge, right? Which is like there's knowing and then there's knowing, right?
Oh.
Yo, when that shit sinks in you, the way he played that part, man, it was a combination to me of like serious Denzel and to me funny as hell. Like he just, man, my nigga.
It's the dry thing. It's like you can't tell if he's fucking with you or not.
And Denzel's just that kind of guy, man, where again, like whatever he embodies, like, you know, Denzel, man, that dude is just classic, man. Classic. And get shit done on the other level. Now, Eric, you were talking about the pudge. You were like, lately, man, he got the pudge on.
You know what? I wonder if Denzel put on some COVID weight.
If he did, he would gladly be forgiven. Like I was saying earlier, it's like, that's that forgiveness weight right there. Look, I give it to him. It's probably COVID weight for sure. Oh my God. What you got going on this morning, broski?
I'm just getting stuff organized, trying to get a lot of music going, pushing the new record.
Yeah.
You
got 2 days.
I got a new one coming out on the 9th called Scene, and it talks about how the world is ending, kind of shit.
Got it. Scene,
like a movie scene.
Like movie scene. Got it. Dope. You said April 9th?
Yeah, April 9th.
Sweet.
So I'll be bugging people about that when that drops.
Yes.
But, you know, in the meantime, I'm just hanging out, soaking up good vibes, and procrastinating in a productive way. You ever do that?
Have I ever procrastinated in a productive way? Welcome to the story of my life. And also, welcome to the AP Morning Show. You know, like I'm literally just chilling. I'm just doing what I want to do. That's what I want to do.
That's not procrastination then. You know, you're in your element.
See, this is the thing. Let me tell you something. It's so funny you said that, in my element, because here's the thing I learned about it. If you are smart about procrastinating, you can turn that shit into a business. All you got to do is just look at what you do. Like some people will look at like certain things as procrastinating, like say it's something that takes them away from another idea. Now, you know, of course, you got that. You got real procrastination. But then there's some of us that aren't procrastinating. We just aren't happy with the other shit we're doing. And
I want to do the pointless homework. I've been doing homework the whole first half of my life. I'm sick of it. Let me do what I want.
That's all I'm saying. And what I did was, you know, it's that serendipity and intention equaling some of these positive things that happen in life. I just happened to like go from, you know, having an interest in music to getting to the point to being intentional about being like, okay, what I want to do is produce tracks. I want to produce tracks because I'm a producer. I love producing. I'm an engineer. Like if I didn't go to school for music, I was on my way to go to school for mechanical engineering and architecture. Like I have a math mind, so I love being able to see things in that way. So, you know, for me,
like a puzzle.
Yeah, it's that puzzle piece kind of deal, right? So I look at elements of music and beats and drums and kicks as like puzzles. I see music as like shapes and colors in my mind, like fitting together. Like
man, me too.
You know what I mean?
Synesthesia and shit.
I'm trying to tell you. So, you know, with that, it's like I continue on with that, and before you know it, I'm faced with this opportunity to be able to take the thing that I love and go from it being a hobby to saying, how could I keep doing the thing that I love? And I know that it's valuable. See, that's the key point. That's the key point right there. For many of us, it's really that we do what we do and we know what we know. We just aren't to the point of realizing how valuable it is. We don't see it as valuable. When you see something as valuable, then that gives you confidence in it. which allows you to put your foot in it and put your back into it and put your elbow into it to like really make it do what it do. And the thing is, and I talk about this all the time, that's why I always say the difference between being the shit or not is confidence. Many times, because when you look at things in life, it's when you believe in something so much, and when it is, damn it, valuable. Like music is valuable. Like, you know, all kinds of things that you possess is valuable. You just have to believe in it enough, and then I promise you, then it'll be like the book I learned in 2005. It'll be applying those concepts, and that book was Do What You Love, and the money will follow. And that's the reason why. That's it.
I fully agree with that. I'd love to add on to that.
Let's get it.
Like, so many of us are just trained to be like kind of self-deprecating about our music, and it is exactly what you said. It's like you gotta treat your work serious. Wait, what's the quote? Like, don't take yourself serious, take your work serious. Forget who said that, but I heard that at some point in the last week. And my pothead brain remembered it. But yeah, like, so we all just gotta like view our shit for the value that it is. You know, it's like, here's this unique perspective that I can turn into a record, or right? You know, something musical and palatable for everyone to just draw from. And I can make that, and I can create that at the end of the day, and that's dope. I should look at that like, holy shit, pull that out of my ass. But speaking of which, tying it all together with procrastination. Yesterday I procrastinated super hard and pulled 4 records out of my ass.
Nice.
Good day.
Let's get it. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. Because here's the thing, man. At the end of the day, all I'm doing, like with these, you know, I'm gonna see if I can in a few minutes play y'all something, play y'all another track this isn't a track that I made, but play y'all a track that I made. And like, man, I just looked at what I was doing and I was saying, I know that the world needs this. I know there's someone out there that this will resonate with. I know that I might not be this person's cup of tea or these people's cup of tea, but I know I'm this person. I know I'm this entire group, this entire audience's whole full course meal. And it's literally believing in that so much that you do the work, that you not only do the work, but you believe in it so much that you see it through. And so that's essentially what it is, you know. So I just like to say that because, you know, in fact, Coco, I don't know if you remember that whole vast concept we were talking about here on the show a couple weeks ago, where you brought forth that video, talked about ADHD, and vast is like variable acute stimulus trait. And it was just talking about how, like, a lot of times, and I've been thinking about this, a lot of times when we think we're procrastinating, it's really us being honest with ourselves that the thing that we are facing, we don't want to do. And of course, some things you have to do. So like, you know, of course, we all know, like, there's things you don't want to do that you have to do. But I mean, like, when you actually have a choice, when you can actually put forth like a different thing, it's knowing that what you possess is valuable and believing in it so much that you'll give it the opportunity to flourish. Yes. Anybody else have any thoughts about that? By all means, jump on in. So, you know, it's just one of those things for me. It's just one of those things. So I appreciate what you're saying, Myra. I got Delia coming on up. Everybody, let's say good morning to Delia. Delia, good morning. How are you?
Hey, Delia.
Good morning, Delia.
It's this question.
What up?
Yeah. I had a good procrastination day yesterday.
Nice. Tell us all about it.
Oh my God. Luna decided that she didn't want to go outside and said she wants to paint a little bit and then go outside. We also danced to My Fair Lady, which is my favorite musical.
Nice.
And I was dancing around, and then she was in her high, she was wiggling, and then she's like, up, and then she just held my hand, and we danced.
Nice.
After that time, I wrote a little bit, but I also played this VR game until I sweated.
You played a what game? A what game?
And, it's a virtual reality game. It's called Beat Saber. And it's basically a bunch of blocks that you have to like slice with your oh wait, what's the word? The Jedi had it with your saber.
Oh, got you. Oh, nice.
And yeah, button. And right before I went to bed, I went and read some funny tweets and was laughing my butt off. So today I feel good.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. See,
I was sleep with laughter. That was a nice.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm telling you, I talk about it every day. It's the reason why when I talk about this show, the way that I tell people is like, come hang out for some good laughs, great conversations, and even greater affirmations. Because those like laughter, being able to just be free to do fun things, to do very imaginative things, to do things that are just about like putting a smile on your face and being a kid again. Like, come on now. Like, y'all better. Y'all ass gonna get old too fast. You gonna wish you did. Real talk. Like, find a way to laugh every day. Find a way to play every day. Find a way to just be carefree, even if it's just for a few minutes. Even if it's just taking a walk and listening to some funny shit. Like, just find a way to escape every day. Because I promise you, the more you tell yourself that that's procrastination, the more that you will really be dealing with so much stress and anxiety and it'll be because you're just not allowing yourself to release or to take that time. You keep convincing yourself that it's procrastination. And I understand that we got to do what we got to do. So of course you got a job, you got bills to pay, but if you don't take that time to take care of yourself in this way, you won't be able to continue. It'll be, for me, I look at it like driving a car, and never stopping to put gas in it. Yeah, you can keep driving, all right. Your ass is going to stop at some point completely. So let's get it. Let's laugh. Let's do something for therapy in that way. I'm feeling you, Delia. You and Luna had fun yesterday. Let's get it. Did you all get to the zoo? I can't remember if you told me you made it to the zoo.
Oh, we did.
Oh, tell me about that, please.
My child likes to run. My child just thought that this was a place to run. The animals were incidental.
So wait a minute. Let me tell you why this is funny to me. Oh my God, this is hilarious. Because what you just made me do, right? I'm a person that I'm always jumping into other people's experience, to empathize and to see life from their perspective. Do you know, I literally just had a moment of being one of the animals, or being the animals and being fascinated by your daughter, where it was more like a trip for them, where it was just like, wow, look at this. Like, then she was paying attention to them. Like, she was more of a show to them than them a show to her.
She climbed like a monkey. She did. This is the second time at the zoo at this age. And she definitely she crawled on all four. And yeah, it was a lot. So the funny part is, how old is she again? How old is Luna again? 2 at the end of April. Got you. So what I think is interesting, I think what may happen is, because of the kind of parent you are, because you're very expansive, and you teach her a lot of things, you try your best to create an environment where it's stimulating. I think that like she'll probably come back to you in a couple years and be like, yeah, remember that tiger we saw? And you're like, what tiger? First time, when we went to the zoo, and like when you were just running around, like, yeah, no, but the tiger though. Cause like, it's funny. She's going to have that one memory where you like, look, all you did was run around. And she like, yeah, I was running, but I did see a few things. I was just preoccupied too. Oh man, that's hilarious. I'm so glad you took her just, for the stimulus as well. And that's fun. I know that was, like you said, a lot. Was your husband chasing behind it too? Or it was just you and her together? So the last time he came, it would have been a little bit easier. Got you.
Yeah. So I have empathy for you. You're like, okay, next time we go to the zoo, yeah, we might have to bring some other friends. We might have to bring Daddy. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Good time though. I'm glad y'all had a good time yesterday. Glad y'all had a good time. Let's say good morning to Keisha. Good morning, Keisha. How are you?
I'm great. Good morning. I just came on to say good morning.
I love it. Everybody, let's open up our microphones. Let's say good morning to Keisha. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, Greg. How are you?
Good morning, Keisha.
Good morning, Keisha.
Good morning, Ken.
Good morning.
Yes, yes. Good
Hola,
morning.
hola. How's everyone doing this morning?
All right. Doing well, Keisha. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up. It was good seeing you yesterday. We happened to run into each other at, what was it? What is your love language? Yeah, 5 love languages, the girls' room, right? That was actually a good time there. Good hanging out, meeting a few good people.
It was. Went in there, probably because I seen you in there. You see what they're talking about.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. Speaking of which, like, you know, if you all see me in other rooms, like, yeah, it's specific. So it's something significant. And I never go in like large rooms necessarily, except for like clubhouse, town hall, and that kind of thing. I'm always like, first of all, I hardly ever am on this app scrolling the halls. Sunday afternoon for like usually an hour just to see what's going on, see what people are talking about, understand the innovation and evolution of this thing. But then when I do find an experience, it's always something that's very intimate, very small. You know, I like to go into a room where there's only like 10 people, you know, because I really care about making relationships with people, you know, and not about big numbers. And so that, and then finding like, you know, something that's around emotional intelligence, or in like this case, they were talking about love languages, and it was just a good time, you know. And so I'll go in, and not only do I like greet people in a good way, but then I'll also DM everybody and just say like, it's really a pleasure to meet you all, you know, and that kind of thing. I try to have as much good etiquette as possible in this environment. So yeah, Keisha, it was a great conversation. You know, I know I left a bit early. I can imagine it continued on to be good stuff.
It did. It was really good just to hear everyone's perspective. I kind of came in just to just chill out and listen, hear everyone's perspective, and then I was asked to speak. But I thought it was odd to see you up that time of night.
Right. You know. Yeah. You know, it's just one of those things. I was looking at. You know, I'm happy to finally be back in my damn birthday suit, like literally and figuratively. And so I'm looking and seeing like, okay, who's connected with me since, you know, and I'm following up. So yeah, I just happened to scroll down the hallway. It was a good time. You know, when I think about love languages, you know, for me, you know, what I learned was that, you know, my top 3 are words of affirmation, quality time, and physical touch. And I think in that order actually. So yeah, I love learning other people's love languages and, you know, and just talking about it. Because to me, it's one of those things where it puts me more in touch with myself, as well as learning other people's love language allows me to know how to relate to them. And I'm always looking for a way to relate to another human being in a way to give them a positive experience. So yeah, y'all, love languages. Does everybody here know what your top love language is? On the stage, or anybody that's in the audience, by all means, if you want to come up to the stage, come on up to the stage. But is there anybody familiar with what their top love language is?
I think mine is gifts, which again makes me look like an asshole.
Why you say?
Mine is attention.
Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. So gifts and attention. Why for you, Maya? Does that? Why do you say that?
I mean, it just sounds materialistic, like. Versus, you know, touch or words of affirmation, which I think is also one of mine. But I think gifts was like at the top, and I'm like, oh, this seems more shallow than I thought I was.
So, you know, it's funny that you say it like that, like, because the way I kind of see it is like, man, they're just all different expressions of the same thing, but just in different ways. And I also say this too, or I wonder this: do you like to give gifts to people? Like, is that one way that you like to?
I actually do. Yeah, so it does work, I guess, in the other direction.
There you go.
Like I'm always half being sarcastic with shit. I'm just sort of like poking jabs at it.
Right.
But yeah, like giving gifts is definitely one of my ways to be like, oh, I appreciate you as a human.
Right. Yeah, and that's one of the things that definitely fascinates me about love languages. Learning that these are not only about how you receive, but also how you express. It's funny because one of the things I was saying in the room yesterday is that as I've found my way through life, and like I always tell you, I talk about Mom and just how she brought me up. I learned how to give words of affirmation, and I'm the type of person where I don't wait for people's validation. Like I have, my own internal motivation, my own internal validation. Like I'm my own motivator because Mom gave me the tools. So with that, I didn't think that my top love language would be word of affirmation. But when I look at how I am with others, and now, what it does for me to receive words of affirmation and how it feeds me to give more, it feeds me to just keep just, so it's interesting how you express and what you receive as well. Is there anybody else who like to share, who your love language, your
words of affirmation is mine, right? Sure. And touch. I think those are both even.
Words of affirmation and touch. And I also, I apologize, Ken, I forgot you mentioned yours too. What did you say yours was, Ken?
It's attention and time. I think the one that I took said like the third one down was touch.
Did you say the first one was attention?
Yep. Attention and time.
That's what it was. Mean quality time?
Yep.
Quality time. Got you. Okay. So real quick, have you found that makes sense for you as far as what you know about yourself before before taking the test?
It's crazy because I didn't realize that what it was, and I was misinterpreting it for years, thinking it was one thing, but it really was just quality time.
Got you. Okay. And do you find that you express that outwardly, and that's what you try to give and what you value too? It works both ways.
I don't know. I don't know if it's necessarily that congruent.
Okay.
I think I express myself more in words of affirmation and affection. But quality time seems to be what I value the most.
So this is a funny moment. All the experiences that I've had with you on here have been quality time, but I think about it in a unique way where anytime you do give words of affirmation, anytime you do any of those things, you're trying to make it a quality time with the person. It's why you do what you do so well, even in your career field. Cause like you always, whether it's a couple seconds, like even how just talking here, whether it's a couple seconds or whether you're like schooling someone on something or holding a room or workshop or whatever, you always try to make every minute of that quality time for the people that you're serving or that you're talking to or connecting with. It's interesting.
It's interesting you would say that because right up until you said it, I didn't connect it to, because that's one thing I do value is everyone's time.
Right.
And I try to make the most out of every second.
Boom.
So, if I'm going to say something, I try to make sure it's to the point.
Right.
It gives you something that you can take away with, and then I'll step back. I'm always conscious of rambling.
Right. Hence my point. And that's why I enjoy actually conversing with you or just listening to you do what you do, because I'm a person that values that. So I know it when I see it, and hence why you one of my favorite only black brothers from Delaware. When are y'all gonna do the yes, I'm black and I'm from Delaware room, yo? Oh my God, it's gonna explode.
Can you start that?
Yo, Keisha, for real, let's just do it.
You gonna do it?
Yeah, you just tell me a date that works and we'll just do it and talk about all things black and all things Delaware and how uniquely we're positioned differently than every other black person in the country.
Yeah. Yo,
Ken, it's just gonna be the two of us in the room.
Yo,
I don't know. I'm hearing a lot of people want to come figure out what's going on for black folks in Delaware every time it comes up.
Let's do it then. Let's do it.
It's my whole reason for saying. I promise y'all, this is like one of those things.
I've never connected the two like that with Ken either, but it's so true. He does do quality time.
Wow.
And acts of service, yeah.
Bro, that's what. Yeah. You're seen, bro. You are seen in the most beautiful way, and that's why I'm glad. I'm glad we could even have that moment, because it's literally why one of the biggest things I appreciate about just you as a person, and like it's, and your words echo so much to me. Like thinking back, a couple months ago, we're here early on the show, and I just never forget you saying it. We were talking about how amazing Clubhouse was, and I'm just like, yeah, so potent. Look at how we're connecting and blah, blah, blah. And you were like, man, I don't know anybody else like in my regular life who I talk to every day. And I was like, yo, I feel the same way. But it makes sense though, bro.
Well, I don't talk to my mom every day.
Right. Yo, all I'm saying is when you find tribe on top of the family and the tribe that you already have, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. So, brother, yes, quality time, and consciously and subconsciously, that's exactly what you're going for, what you're giving, and how you continue to show up, bro. And I appreciate
that, man.
Yes.
I want to share something off the subject real quick though. Just in my life experience.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I got a list right now, and I decided to wait till I was almost damn near 50 to get braces. Or the Invisalign. Have you seen those things?
Yeah.
Listen, this is the weirdest thing I've ever felt in my life, yo.
Oh wow.
Like literally walking around with these trays in your mouth, and you constantly hear yourself lisp like Peter Brady from the Brady Bunch. Remember that? Yo, it's ridiculous.
Hey, it's got to be better than having these wires in your mouth. I'm so glad I'm about to get mine out. I got the wires in my mouth, bro. I'm scared to walk by magnets.
Hey, Eric, let me ask you a question, though. This is now, and it's funny you said that. And it's funny even earlier, I was like, I'll call you the Denzel of Clubhouse. Bro, I know, now, I'm willing to bet, like, $2.68 on this, bro. So, if I lose, I owe you $2.68. But I'm willing to bet that at some point since you've had braces, you've had at least one woman to tell you that she thought it was cute.
Yeah, actually it did. Then I started lisping and slobbing all over the place when I started talking and out the damn window. So yeah, I got the attention, but then I couldn't keep the attention. So no.
Right.
That's crazy, bro.
Oh my God, man. Serendipity plus intention equals this fun and funny ass life. Yo, now I have empathy though all the way around. Last time I went to the dentist, they told me, I have a narrow bridge or narrow, the way my arm is. They were like, you could get braces. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I think they were telling me what it would fix, but it was so minute, so small. I was like, I'm good actually. So yeah, so I have empathy because my son though, oh goodness, yes, he had braces and he was not one of those ones that was one in that. He was, oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, so I feel you on that. What y'all know about this? Help me find my way. What? Jay Dilla, Tribe Called Quest, y'all. Yes. So let's see. Eric, you mentioned yours. Did you mention yours, Eric? No, I didn't come back to you, right? You mentioned yours. Who else we go to?
Yeah, I mentioned mine.
Okay, got it. Keisha, I wanted to come back to you. Keisha,
Yes.
What did you shared it already, I believe. What did you say your top love language was?
I didn't share it.
Got you. Okay, I'm thinking about yesterday. Okay, got it.
Shared it last night, yeah.
Clubhouse experiences are running together, people. That's what you get off of 5.5 hours of sleep.
So I noticed that the way I receive and the way I give it are two different ways.
Yeah.
So my top one for receiving is acts of service, and then quality time, physical touch, and words of affirmation kind of tied. And then receiving gifts was last.
Your receiving gifts is in the same place mine is. Interesting.
But it's weird if someone really, if I see something and it reminds me of a person, I'm the first to go pick up and buy something. So the way I show it would probably be more, gifts would be higher.
Got it.
Yeah, acts of service and quality time are the other things. Yeah, it's interesting.
And you said
giver and receiver are different.
And you said acts of service was first, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is again another one of these interesting moments, like what I just said with Ken and quality time. It's interesting because when you mention what you just said about gifts, when I think of acts of service, they almost brush up against each other, meaning like, so when I think about acts of service, I think about things that, you know, people, you take care of them where they don't have to think about it. Things like, you know, you wash their car, you bring them something, you help them with something. But then I also think about what a gift does to you, like the service that a gift is for you. If like you just need a moment to feel better or to get something that helps you actually. It's almost like you're participating via way of acts of service with the gift giving. Like it's like an act of service. Because I'm quite sure you either buy, I mean, there's only two choices. You either buy, well, no, it's not actually. I was getting ready to say there's only two choices. You either buy something that you think the person will just enjoy and it's fun, or something you think they like absolutely need. But then the third could be, you could be like one of my homeboys who will buy you what he likes and what he feels you need, whether you know you need it or whether you like it or not. Like, and then, but he will ask you first, what do you want? And then say, oh, all right, that's cool. Well, I'm gonna get you this because this is better than and you're like, what the fuck, is it my birthday or yours? Like, what the hell? So anywho, it seems like acts of service is what participates in that gift giving, because you are servicing the person through an act. So it's interesting. I just find it all interesting how it all kind of combines together in some way.
You know what's so interesting also is that it's changed over the years.
Yes,
like when I first did, like years ago was something different, and now, so I'm curious to know if anyone's taken it before and then after COVID, did it change?
That's a good question.
And, like, the quality time increased more for you after like this year, you know?
That's a good question, and it's a good thing you're pointing out too, because that was one of the things that we were mentioning last night and talking about that. And I've always felt that way, like your love language can evolve as you evolve, because different things become more important to you than others for different reasons, you know, depending on the serendipity and attention, depending on how life pans out. Like Keisha said, is there anybody who either you want to share your, you know, what your love language is, what your top is, or you found that it's changed, and if so, how? I'm curious. Open up the floor. Also opening up the audience. I want to say hello to Sherry, Dr. Osiris, and Tara. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you'd like to come to the stage, by all means, throw up a wave. And if y'all know someone else who you think would enjoy this conversation, go ahead and ping them on in. Is there anybody else who'd like to share?
I'd like to share mine.
Yes. What's up, Holmes? What's up, Craig? How you feeling, bro?
I'm good. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Everybody say good morning to Craig. Good morning.
Good morning, Craig.
Good morning, good brother.
How's everyone feeling?
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna answer the last question first.
Yeah.
I've actually definitely, since this, as I always say, the hard reset,
right,
aka the pandemic,
right,
it definitely shifted mine completely.
Right.
And the top of mine is much like Keisha's, act of service.
Right. Dope.
Sorry about that. Act of service. Then it's quality time.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's words, affirmation, physical touch, and then receiving gifts.
Acts of service, quality time, physical touch. Did you say next?
Words
of affirmation, physical touch,
and then receiving gifts.
Right. Acts of service. Got it.
You know.
Yeah. It's like I want to, Dr.
It was definitely very different, probably like 6 months ago.
Love it.
But, you know, I'm coming from a space of just being grateful and just appreciative, you know, and thankful.
Right.
That's truth right there, Craig.
You know,
that's love right there.
But Aaron, to tell you, I'm willing to do anything. If you just say like, "Hey, I need this," I'm just like, "All right, let's go.
Let's get it."
I ain't even asking questions. I'm just there.
Yes.
That's my whole vibe.
Right. Yo, speaking of whole vibe, right? I just noticed something while we were talking. So y'all heard that sound effect that just came in. I opened up the Word Swag app, because I'm getting ready to make a Instagram post out of this so that we can put our love languages there. The post is just going to be the first post on my IG, and it's just going to say, what is your love language, or what is your top love language, or what are your love languages, and just drop them there. I want, if you could, please, everybody that's here, please drop it there for my own. I want to learn you so that I can just continue to just be even a better friend, a better accountability partner. Like I just want to, learn in that way. And so it's funny, Craig, when I just opened up this Word Swag app, if you heard that sound, I don't know if you heard that and realized what sound that was, like what patch that was. Hold on, let me see if it'll do it again. I'm gonna try to open it. All right, here it is. Do I have to make something and then come back out? Damn. All right, I'm gonna see if I can make it do it again. But it was the new, I think it's called New Pad or New Phase, that was in the Rolling Phantom. It used to be one of my favorite sounds in there. So anywho, yeah, so I'm putting this up on my thing. So you said acts of service is number one. Now, did you say that it's now number one, or after it's changed through this time, or did you say that's what it's been before this time?
I think that has really changed. Active service has always been at the top.
Right.
But right. I think before it might have been something like quality time or whatever.
Right. And
but not saying I need someone like, or need to be around people a lot, but just whatever we do together, we do it with intention.
Right.
Purposefully. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Would you say like I'm curious as to how you see like how that evolved, how that changed, and why, like in what way. Yeah. So do you just feel like because of the times and because of what's happened, it's just like it's made you? I've always known you, like you said. You said it a few minutes ago. I've always known you as that person who was just like, man, if it was about really connecting, collaborating, facilitating, like coming together, really doing something for the betterment, of everybody and that kind of thing. I mean, you were that guy. You've always been that guy, and it's one of the deepest things I appreciate about you. So it sounds like what you're saying, it's something that echoes what I've been saying for like this last year. And I'm like, when we come through this, some of the things that we took for granted, we don't anymore. And then some of the things that we appreciated already, they just go even deeper. So it sounds like that's what you're saying. It's like, it's cherishing, it's making you cherish even more the ability to connect, collaborate, do things for people, help people in that way.
Well, I'll say the biggest thing is do that. I mean, I've probably lost at least between 50 to 100 people that I know.
Wow.
Through this whole pandemic.
Empathy. Oh my God, so much empathy.
So it makes you really think about really making the most of the opportunities when you see people give them their flowers,
right,
and not to take anything for granted,
right?
Because nothing's promised. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if I can do something in that minute that can help someone, why not?
Right. Yo, you were so echoing my my number one motto, the Mayor Harry Jackson motto. If I can help someone, my living's not in vain. Since I already know my living isn't in vain, I just spend my time helping people. Yo, real talk. Anybody else feel that way? I'm curious of your thoughts. Like, how has this time shifted for you as far as making you appreciate something more deeply when it comes to these kind of values, or it's evolved your love language? I'm curious, by all means.
I mean, because it could be something like you could just say like, I appreciate you, or I love you, or I care about you, and it takes or you look nice today, or
right,
I'm so proud of you. It takes nothing to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It takes nothing to do that, and you can make someone's entire day. Somebody could be falling apart.
Right.
And just you saying that gives some hope.
100%. Couldn't agree with that more. Anybody else feel that way? Anybody else want to share any thoughts? By all means. I'm actually loving this. Loving this. I'd say for me, quality time has definitely gone to another level. As you all can see, literally, this particular show is literally one big demonstration of my top love language. It's literally one big demonstration of words of affirmation. I'm literally addicted to giving people compliments, making people feel good, and being empathetic or accountable and helping others in that way. So this expression is literally an expression of my top love language, which when like I was on the brother Walter Gaynor, who you all see come through here, I was on his podcast the other day, and he said it. He said, man, one of the things I find most fascinating about you in just this last couple months that I've been on Clubhouse is, he's like, you really treat this like a job. He said, I looked at your schedule, I looked at these things, he's like, you treat it like a job. And I was like, that's right, because it is. It's my biz. It's my business to share words of affirmation with other people. And I do that in various ways, whether it's having fun, whether it's laughing, whether it's empathizing with them about something that they lost or something that they're dealing with, whatever it is. Like, that's what it is for me. That's honestly life for me. It's life as I know it. Real talk. So yeah. Let's open up the floor. Let's say a huge good morning to Dr. Osiris. How you doing, family? Good morning to Dr. O.
Man, doing good, brother. Doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Good morning to you. Yes. So, I know you've been enjoying this experience so far. Also want to say hello to my friends, the man with the voice, Marcellus, Eunice, Sherry, and Tara. By all means, if anybody would like to come up the stage, go on and throw up a wave. I'm sorry, I don't think I said, everybody, let's open up our mics. Let's say good morning to Dr. O. I like the.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes,
good morning, Dr. O.
Yes, he is. Good morning, family.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes. So yeah, I can imagine you've been enjoying the conversation. By all means, if you'd like to share something that, from these thoughts, love to hear.
No, just listening, man. I would say my love language is acts of service, without a doubt.
Right.
Probably followed up by physical touch, and then quality time.
Acts of service, physical touch, quality time.
Yeah.
When you learned this, did it surprise you? Did it bring you to like more of a realization? Like, yeah, man, now I realize that does make sense. Was it something you already knew?
It fell right in line with who I am, pretty much, man.
Right.
For me, I feel most kind of loved, if you will, when somebody's trying to help me achieve a goal or trying to help me,
right.
Or when I feel that they are.
Right.
And then vice versa, I do the same. Those that I love and care about, I do my best to try to ask them how I can help them do what they want to achieve,
Right. It's funny because one of the ways that I learned that about you was here on this show, I guess about a week ago, and learned it from the good brother Eric. And the way he told the story, it was hilarious how he was talking about the early in the morning text or something like that, and he was like,
"Oh,
man.
Yeah, that's right. Good memory, brother. Good memory."
Yeah, thanks, man. And I was like, yeah, that's how I know that Dr. O is my peeps too, because we cut from the same cloth. Like, I was the dude that was waking up at 5 a.m. and texting my buddy who agreed that he wanted to go to the gym.
Exactly.
But it was, it was through some positive, enforcement. And so it was the same thing where he went from, yeah, man, I'm ready. And then when I texted him, he's like, man, you texted me at 5. All right, man. All right. I'm like, I'm just here to support you, bro.
First they curse you, and then they get with the program, right?
Right, exactly.
No, I still curse you, bro.
I just don't get it twisted.
That ain't changing.
You curse and you
part,
man.
Oh, man. So I recognized, as soon as he said that, I was like, oh yeah, I know that archetype because I'm that same way. So yeah, man, it makes sense to me that, like you say, acts of service, just being that supportive person. The thing that I find as a connector is like, that's the same way I feel, man. And when I try to explain it to other people, I mean, it's hard to put in words. Like, it doesn't matter what I feel or what I go through, if I have the opportunity to provide acts of service to someone else to help them, like that, it just feeds me. It feeds me.
No doubt.
Yeah, man. So you found a way to build a career around that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
In the same way.
Right?
Come on now.
That's what my whole life's been about, man. Helping other people fulfill their dreams and their goals.
Yeah, man.
Which fulfills my goal.
Right. It's such a good thing, you know, and that's why I can relate, because I just happen to be fortunate where, you know, that's the life that I've created. That's the life that you know, I was afforded via, you know, just the path that was paved for me by mom and how I was raised and that kind of thing. And so I could totally connect. So you said acts of service, and then second was physical touch.
Okay. Yeah, man. And physical touch is just real simple, man.
Yeah.
Sister, nephew, niece, anybody, man, they give me a head massage or a back rub.
Right.
I'm good.
Right.
you love me if you do that.
Do you? Right. Do you find, like, are you married or?
Yeah, I was, man. I'm recently divorced. Yeah.
So, do you find that you're the same way, like, you know, because again, the thing that I find so interesting about this is, like, you know, for me, I appreciate, you know, of course, again, I can't wait until we get to the point where we can just freely be like this again. But, you know, for someone, when I see you, doesn't matter, man, woman, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, when I see you, if I have the ability to give you dap, if I have the ability to give you a hug or something like that, like, you know, and I don't have to, I'm not attached to it, but at the same time, yeah, I appreciate that point of connection. So do you find yourself, you know, the same way outwardly with, you know, platonic as well as even more intimate
without a doubt, man. When I was much younger, I mean, I used to literally judge people off of a limp handshake. I had to stop doing that, you know?
Yeah, I got you.
And I'm careful with that now.
Right.
Lame hugs. I'm like, come on, man, you can do better than that. You know?
Right. It is all just coming from a place.
Brother been like that forever too, man. He'll tell you though.
I sure will.
He'll tell you though.
He'll tell you. Is that the best you can do?
You know, it's so good, man. When
because in a larger sense, man, and I know this whole COVID thing got people twisted.
Right.
But man, some people don't have a real hug all day.
Right.
Seriously.
Man, let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you how much you're echoing my sentiments. So, you know, I write original quotes, and one of my shortest original quotes is literally just a good hug. Ain't nothing like it. That's it. Like it really is power in that. So that's what I appreciate about these times is, although these have been the toughest times we've ever had in life, it's like at the same time, on the flip side, it's already putting us in a place where we're taking less things for granted. Many of us are taking less things for granted. Many of us are appreciating moments, appreciating like being able to actually see a person, being able to have a hug or whatever, to feel love. Like, and it's why this app is so monumental, because this app is giving us the ability to feel that group hug vibe, like in the midst of a time where, you know, things are different. So yeah, we go back to our norms as far as giving hugs again with a whole new level of appreciation. And I don't think it wears off or where it goes away, because evolution is only one thing. It goes in one direction. So I just think that we become even more empathetic. We become even more appreciative of things like the hug. Now I'll tell you, one of the other things that's interesting to me is how now the elbow bump is like the new fist bump. You know? Yeah, and people are appreciating it. Like old, young, like we're bumping elbows, you know, and we're appreciating that some point of connection. And I don't think we go back from there. Now, it is kind of interesting because certain things that have been a part of our cultural norms, and colloquially speaking, will be gone, like blowing out birthday cakes for the entire family. Like that's some shit for you. That's some funny. You just have to laugh at that. Like, wow, we will never blow out whole birthday cakes for everyone again. It'd be like, serve it in slices. You blow your own like candle out. Maybe that'll be the thing. Maybe we cut the whole cake up into slices and everybody have a candle and we make a wish with the person. Oh shit, that might be an idea. What y'all think? Okay, I ain't getting no support.
No, I'm with you, brother.
Oh man, but it keeps going, and we keep just finding ways of just, appreciating the little things in life. So
that's right.
Yeah, bro, I dig it. And then you said last but not least was quality time.
Yeah, quality time
makes sense.
I think time, man, that's our most valuable currency, bro.
Right.
Not to preach it, but that's the truth.
Yeah, it is.
Somebody can spend money on you day and night. Don't get me wrong, depending upon the level of money they have. Mm-hmm. But we all got the same amount of time.
Wow, which is the now, which is the freaking now.
Exactly.
Oh man, I so appreciate you in that, and I really, really thank you for sharing that. Is there anybody else that like to share, your love languages, your top 3, your top 1? Has it changed? Has it evolved? Like, what are your thoughts about love language? Anybody would love to hear your thoughts.
I would love to share.
Hey, yeah, we would love to have you.
I'm in a conference right now.
Okay.
So I have the mic on my face, my hand over my face, so I could talk to y'all.
You doing that ventriloquist flow?
I am. Try not to grin. I love this conversation. It's good to hear y'all talking about love languages. Very passionate about that.
Yeah.
My love language is words of affirmation, which is probably obvious because I'm a speaker. I like to pour into people, and I have turned that into my business.
Right.
And then the next one is quality time, and then touch, and the other 2, acts of service and gifts. Not so great at, but learning the importance of when you meet someone to not treat them the way you want to be treated, but treat them the way they want to be treated by learning what their love language is and then feeding them that.
God, you better get that 2.0.
So that's all I got to say because I got to get back to my conference. Bye.
No doubt. Look, I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm going to tell you, and this is funny. So, Coco, I have, and I know you're just listening in, but I have your next best TikTok idea. Oh, my God. And that's literally a series of TikToks where all the videos are just 1-minute videos of you talking like that, where you're looking at another screen. And you're talking about whatever you're talking about, something you can relate to, something that's crazy, something that's funny, something that's serious, but it's with not actually moving your lips because you're in a Zoom meeting. I promise you. That will be classic right there because there's so many people that can relate to that. There's so many people. I have so much empathy. The Zoom meetings, the meetings that I'm on, they're by choice. I do not have a bunch of meetings where I gotta sit there and be forced to stare at a damn screen and try to feel connected and not get away. Like, it's crazy. So I have so much empathy for that. And so there's so many people that can relate to that. I think people will find that hilarious. Oh my gosh. Yes. So is there anybody else that would like to share? And again, in about 2 minutes, I'm about to put on this post. I'm about to put this post on IG, and it's basically just, what are your love languages? And all I want you to do is to just drop a line there under the post with what your love languages are. Yes. If there's anybody that'd like to come to the stage, by all means, throw up a wave. And one thing that I have not done, goodness gracious, I just left my Facebook fam deserted. I'm telling y'all, that's just what happens, this Clubhouse thing. You get a chance to talk to people in real time. Speaking of which, get your ass an iPhone. And if not, May, y'all, May, we are literally May would be coming into time. Okay, so we're between 4 and they said 6 weeks from the release of Clubhouse for Android. I want to know how y'all feel about that. If unless someone, I would love for someone to share love languages, the idea. If not, that'll be the next topic on the table. How you feel about that?
They got it for cricket. They're going to have it for the cricket service.
Yo, they're gonna have it for the cricket, the locust, they're gonna have it for all, the flies or the bees. Yeah, they're gonna have it everywhere.
Good morning.
What's going on, Cuzzo?
Hey man,
Cuzzo blood.
Just walking around BJ's. I done walked around BJ's like 12 times. So just walking around.
Do you plan on picking a thing or two up, or are you just you using that as your morning like walk, like you're getting your morning workout on? Just
counting to see how many flowers they got in the building.
Right.
Just go around.
Yo, I love it, yo. I love it, yo.
Just random stuff. How many TVs y'all selling today? Let me see. 1, 2,
right.
3. Like, what? Y'all selling TVs today?
Right.
What?
Today of all days, just selling TVs.
Like, what?
Right.
Is this something y'all do every day?
Every day, right.
Person looking at you like, if somebody don't come.
Right.
Like, oh my God, y'all sell coolers in here.
Right.
What? And what? Like, okay.
Look, somebody gonna yell, clean up on aisle 3, and it's just gonna be, they gonna be wanting to throw
it's
you.
It's gonna be me.
Just you.
Laying down in blood. They done beat me up. I done irritated everybody. I got banked in aisle 17.
Right. Oh man. You know what's funny? I often joke about like, in fact, Coco and I were joking about this the other day. When you hear people, like the voice, when people talk over the intercom, like it's one voice and like one tone, like the whole time. Charles, we got a line on line 3. Charles, you pick up the line on line 3. You're like, yo, do you have to? Like, does everything have to be one? Like, it's that same tone that's in the background right there. They match that tone. Nah, okay, cool. Charles, pick up line 3. Charles, you gonna pick? You're like, yo,
I didn't get on the phone before though.
For real?
I just like in a corner in the back of the store. I just got on the floor. Yes, can you please do a price check on diapers?
Right.
You know, and it was like, who is that? And then I just dropped the phone real quick and walk away.
Right.
I wiped the fingerprints off too. Like literally, I wiped the fingerprints off too. I don't even know why I did that. But anyway,
there's one thing I need.
You gotta pick up the line one day.
Oh yeah, my fault.
Say something just nonsensical, like, you know, somebody hang up you just gotta say something crazy, like something that doesn't even make sense. Like they don't even have an aisle 14. You like clean up on aisle 14. They're like, yo, it's only 12 in here. What's going on?
Right.
Yo, that's the crazy stuff. I think about that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's so funny. You hear people announce other people, and it's like we were joking. Like, could you imagine like there's a training for that, like a training for how to talk to people on the line, and like you're like, yeah, so all right, so read this sentence, and they're like, okay, and you're like, okay, so all right, let me try this. So pick up on pick up line 5, Charles. Pick up, like they're like, nah. No, first of all, you just like, hey Charles, pick up line 5. They're like, nah. First of all, you gotta say it twice. Like that's the first thing. That's the first rule of thumb. And then they like, you like pick up the phone.
Check on prune juice, Bob.
Right.
Check on prune juice.
So we were tripping. It was like, could you imagine if people actually had regular conversations that way? Like where everything was that tone and twice, you know, somebody hands you a plate, you know, you just like, thank you for handing me this dinner, this dinner. You're like, oh, what? So it's hilarious. Certain voices you just don't use. You don't hear them in any other places. And then I'll tell you another thing that's interesting too. Did you all know that the anchor, like the news reporter voice, is actually a specialty skill? Like it's not just like the goal is that you have to sound like you are from absolutely nowhere, like literally, and I'm not making that up. That's literally the goal. You have to sound like you are from no place on earth, like no particular place. Did y'all know that? Caesar, did you know that?
For what job now?
Oh, he jumped off. So for news reporter, when you're a news reporter, the way that you train your voice is that the goal is that you're supposed to sound like you are from absolutely nowhere.
Right. I had heard that before. And they say that's why a lot, or I guess it used to be, that a lot of people from the Midwest that didn't have accents were kind of good candidates.
Yeah.
But they do have accents. There was a dude, a linguist, who just decided because he was from the Midwest that the Midwest is the pure, universal, non-accent. He just wrote a paper, read the word, and everyone was like, that checks out. And then all the media agreed. That's how that
wow. Delia just dropped the science. Delia,
just decided because Midwest supremacy, I guess.
So you're saying it is an accent, and that accent is a Midwestern accent, you're saying?
Kind of.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying.
I'm answering for Delia. Sorry.
Gotcha. Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just trying to understand. No.
I think that's what he's saying.
Got you.
Because even in the Midwest, they have accents.
Yeah, because there's a lot of Southern influence in the Midwest language as well.
It's non-regional diction is what the news means, but that's based on the Midwest accent. And the only reason why we think they don't have an accent is because it's so pervasive now that it's normalized.
So now I gotta go listen to
it everywhere.
That's interesting. So now I have to actually. So you mean to tell me there's somewhere I can go where everybody sound like news reporters, or I can?
No, that ain't real.
I'm just trying to understand. I'm literally trying to understand.
I guess it depends on what Midwest you're talking about. Because we from the Chi. Eric from Chicago too, but
right.
But most of us family came up to Chicago from the Great Migration.
Gotcha.
And they were Southerners, so maybe.
So what is?
Maybe there's the European Midwest.
True that.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. And he was a white dude.
Exactly.
He was talking about white Westerners.
Yep.
Right.
Even when we say y'all and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
Down to his hometown, he was like, yeah, it's funny. I've grown up listening to these voices talk this way all my life. And I never notice an accent when they speak. But when everyone else speaks differently, I notice an accent. That means that objectively, they have accents and I don't. How
That's
stupid.
I am the center of the universe.
Exactly.
I just did that. Like,
you know what?
But yeah, it is Eurocentric.
Yeah.
Because most of the people here in Nebraska or the Omaha Metro,
mm-hmm.
a lot of them came originally from the South. So when I'm talking to people, of course, in a Black neighborhood, they just sound like people I grew up with in Memphis.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the reason I don't have an accent is my dad was Army. Well, I'm saying I don't have one, but my dad was Army, so I lived in Germany.
Right.
And actually, German was the first language I spoke.
Right.
So then I had to come to the States at 5 and learn how to speak English.
Wow, that's interesting.
But yeah, when my kids, when they were younger and we would go to Memphis, they would get teased by their cousins, and their cousins would say, "You have a funny accent," and then my daughter would say, "You have an accent," and the Southern cousin would be like, "I ain't got no accent," and so we would just fall out laughing because it's like, yeah, you just said it in an accent.
That's so funny because I think you also wind up having those same kind of times where we all don't actually hear how we sound and realize we have some accent from some because I think about it a lot. There's some Baltimore slang or Baltimore ways of speaking that I don't want to sound like. So and my mom raised me in a particular way to pronounce words, to articulate my words in a certain way. So there were certain things that if I wasn't pronouncing my words in that way, then I wasn't speaking correctly. Now, of course, because I'm you keeping evolution of your parents, even I've relaxed on some of that. But it is interesting because when somebody points it out and you have that accent from Baltimore because of this, and I'm like, wow, it's so interesting because you're right, but I don't even hear it. I'm just talking, So it's so interesting. I'm curious, real quick, and I want to say good morning to Moreno Farmer over here on Facebook. You guys, I'm on Facebook at Aaron Hill TV. Moreno Farmer, my good brother, my good musical brother there. Man, I hope all is well, bro. Let me know how things are going with you and the music. Also, D-Love Harrison says, good blessings, King. Same to you, Queen. And Sherry Thompson is double dipping. I love it. Double dip crew. Absolutely love it. Also want to say good morning again to Tara. Hope that you're having a good morning so far. Hope that this is adding to your experience and to your day. Just making it a little bit more chill or easygoing or, doable. Yes. Much love.
Hey, wasn't the reporter who got famous for saying, for facing off the buffalo? Wasn't he from Baltimore?
I'm not sure.
I forgot his name was like DeAndre or something. It was last year.
You said he got famous for
where
doing
he
what
said,
again?
"Oh no, I'm not messing with you."
Y'all
don't remember that?
Well, you would have to, this is a part of my like specializing in not knowing the evening news moment. So yeah, I'm a bit out of touch. Yeah, Dr. O.
I'll have to find his name.
Family, I got to get out of here and make an appointment.
Yes.
Y'all have a beautiful.
You too, family.
All right, be well.
I gotta take over the world too, man. So.
Yes.
All right.
You too, good people. Have a great one.
All right.
Let me give you my evil laugh.
Right.
Have a good day.
All right, Eric. Take care, fam. Yes. But yeah, Sherry, I'm not sure. Go ahead, Amber.
Oh, so I just was watching My Fair Lady, which is about trying to change Mrs. Doolittle's accent so that she can work in a flower shop. And the whole and Henry Higgins, if he listened to you speak, he could say, "Oh, did you grow up at X and by way of Germany, blah 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 blah, on the corner of this street and that street." So like, you have all of your influences in there.
Yeah.
But it's a really refined ear like Henry Higgins out to break it down for you.
Right. I feel you.
And as Henry Higgins says, Americans don't care how you say it as long as you spell it right.
Yeah, that's interesting, and I definitely understand what you're saying because a lot of people do feel that way. Yeah, let's say good morning to Tara. Good morning, Tara. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey,
I didn't want to
Tara.
come up here on stage because I'm dealing with some allergies.
Oh, well.
Oh my goodness.
Look, if there's anybody that can empathize, I sit over here with I'm right now have my box of Kleenex tissues that is literally within arm's reach because I'm a spring baby and it's my favorite season, but yet I'm also an allergy baby. So,
oh my, it's unreal. I just started dealing with allergies over the recent years since I had my children.
Gotcha.
So I'm like, I feel sorry for the people who have had to deal with this their whole life.
Yes.
Because the struggle, I can't handle it. So, but I'm here.
I'm so glad you decided to come up. Oh man, I'm so glad you did. Because I love to say hi, and so so good. It's so good. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yes, and as always, thank you for hanging out. I definitely always appreciate. I was just mentioning earlier. I don't know if you were here. I was giving a huge shout out to all the people that just enjoy listening in. And just allowing it to just add to their day. And so I always, see you listening. So it's so good to hear your voice. So good to talk to you, Tara. Good morning.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I mean, there's definitely a vibe here. So I enjoy that. I tuned in yesterday, and at the end you added a piano segment. And I was like, okay, I'm making my oatmeal and my hot chocolate. I'm like, this is nice. So thank you for just being available in the morning.
Oh man, it is really, really my pleasure. Really my pleasure. And thank you for that. Thank you for those words of affirmation, my number one love language. So thank you.
Me too.
Oh really? Let's get it. Yes. Oh, I was hoping that you would share what your love language might be. Oh, that's amazing. Okay. So words of affirmation, how, is this something that when you learned it as your love language, was it surprising to you? Was it affirming to you?
It definitely wasn't shocking because I think I'm just a hopeless romantic. I'm very in tune with learning about myself. So that was definitely one of the topics that caught my attention in the past, just learning who I am and as it pertains to relationships with other people and how they communicate, whether it's, by talking or through acts of service or gifts of time. I'm like, this is awesome, to have everything, just concise and clear so that when you do meet people, it's like, this is how you treat me. And I hope to do the same thing for you.
Oh my goodness. Let's get it. Oh man. Wow. That makes so much sense to me. So you find that you're a giver in that way and a receiver in that way. It feeds you in that same way. I love it.
Hey Aaron, your voice is getting really quiet.
Oh, sorry. Is that better? Sorry, I was leaning back from the mic, looking at y'all beautiful faces. Thank you, Sherry. That's amazing. Do you find that what's your second love language, Tara?
I would say quality time and then probably acts of service.
Nice.
I'm a giver. I'm a people pleaser. I'm trying to find the balance in it.
Yeah.
But it's just good to have a position where you can affirm people pleasing, right? Where you have like an excuse. It's because I love acts of service. So let me channel it in the right way.
I'm
not pleasing the wrong people and I still receive that gratification that I need.
Wow. I love that. I absolutely love that. And it is a journey. I'm such an empath and I care so much about other people. I care what other people think and even think about. But walking that journey of getting to the point where I can care what other people think and think about, but where it not like clash with what I think about myself or what I need or my time, or it doesn't deplete me, was definitely, that's the journey right there. And I love talking about it because when you as you continue to find that place of balance, like then you have the best of both worlds, then you're able to make yourself happy and make other people happy as well. And that's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. And protect your peace because as you learn, the circles, the people who you hold around you may not be feeding into you or pouring into you or affirming those things for you. Instead, they're taking away.
Right.
So I had to go outside of my comfort zone and join groups of people who are like-minded, without the judgment, because other people are like, you give in too much or you're too nice. I don't need to hear that, but I need to be surrounded by other people who are like, I'm an empath as well. So I resonate with that,
You just brought up such a good point. It's like, instead of someone saying you're too nice, and instead of that being the verdict, the real verdict is no, I just need to be around people where that niceness is appreciated, is cherished, and is reciprocated. That's it. I just need to find my tribe. That's it.
It could be so simple, right?
Oh my goodness. Wu-Tang said it best. Can it be that it was all so simple? I'm just saying, like, real talk. That's what it is. It's just that. And it's why I get excited about my day-to-day life, as that's the way that I live and the way that I walk out in the world, the way that I talk, the way I connect with people. And then being in environments in what I call this ecosystem like this, it's built on the fact that you can find your tribe, so I'm so feeling you on that. Like, that's self-awareness. And again, we talk about it all the time, as far as emotional intelligence. That's the first component. That's self-awareness. I have a couple thoughts that I actually would like to share with you. I'll DM you a few as well, and I'll also put it up. I didn't even finish putting my post up on IG. But it has to do with like having that place, finding that place of balance, being self-full, and then burnout versus compassion, which is something that's really important for being able to be a giver, but not at the expense of your own well-being.
Ooh, such a fine line. I'm here for that.
She said, "I am so here for that." Look, I am with you. In fact, let me see. I'm gonna actually see if I can pull up at least a piece of it. But I definitely feel you on that, and it's just so important. It's so important. I'm grateful for my mentor. One of my mentors who was the guy who taught me piano, and he didn't just teach me piano, but he taught me how to have a backbone. Like, he taught me how to be this giving and this loving person with this gift that, of course, I wanted to go out and just, one of the most amazing things was give that gift of music to the world while not being taken advantage of, while not having people to over commit me or to take advantage of me, while not being such a people pleaser that I let people just, jerk me around and use me in the way that they would like to. And it helped out a whole lot because I was very much an empath. I was very much a person who would rather see a person happy than not. And sometimes that might come at the expense of something that they're putting me through or subjecting me to. That's not cool, So being able to draw that line and set those boundaries, and give myself, know that if I'm going to actually help anyone else, it's going to be because I give to myself first. And once I stop being apologetic about that, everything changed.
That's a word.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And I would love if there's anyone else. Hey, got my good friend Tapora. Hey, Tapora, good to see you. Thanks so much for coming through. Hope your morning is going well. Got a couple more minutes here. Usually wrap it up around 10:30. So by all means, if you'd like to come to the stage, we'd love to say good morning. If not, I hope you're having a good morning and I hope you're enjoying this experience. Yes.
Oh, I just wanted to say I looked up the reporter, and he is a Baltimore native, Dion Broxton. So you'll have to look him up. It's a pretty cool story.
Dion Broxton, you said?
Yep, Broxton, Broxton.
Got you.
And that's when I was like, oh, I didn't realize Baltimore had an accent. And they were commenting on his accent.
I live in Baltimore and people tell me I don't have an accent. Or they say I'm from New York or somewhere further out.
Nice. I didn't realize you lived in Baltimore. That's super cool. Super cool. I'm in Baltimore too.
Nice. So you understand the allergies, this setup.
Right. All too well. OMG. Sherry, thanks for sharing that information. Can you do me a favor? If you get a chance, can you DM me that? Because I want to read up on that and I don't want to forget it. So if you have the ability to.
Sure. Okay.
Love it. Everybody, let's open up our microphones. Let's say good morning to my good friend Tapora. Tapora, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tapora.
Good morning, Tapora.
Hey, beautiful people.
Good morning. How are you? Good morning. Good to see you.
Thank you. I'm sorry I couldn't come a little earlier.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. In fact, I might even extend it a few minutes and play a tune on the way out. Play some piano or something.
Oh, I would love that. I was just looking at sound samples on Spitfire Audio because they have piano samples for 40% off.
Really?
For 2 days.
Wow. What brand? So you said Spitfire, but what brand are the piano samples? Do you know?
That's an excellent question.
Okay.
I was just diving into it and just I wasn't looking at the specs so much as just listening to the samples because for the kinds of music I'm doing, I'm trying to get some samples that have different, like a different feel to them than a traditional piano. So
love it.
Excited.
I absolutely love it. This I use a lot of software pianos, and the one that's kind of my go-to right now is I have the Contact. I have the Native Instruments Contact bundle. Mm-hmm. So in it, there's a piano called the Grandeur. In fact, it's the piano that you're going to hear me play in a few. But it's called the Grandeur, and man, it's just amazing how far these piano samples have come. And I know you know because of being a pianist, you know, and being someone who like has a connection to the actual piano, you know, prior to samples, you know. So.
Yeah, and my old piano that I nursed for like 11 years had incredible internal samples. So then when I went from that to Logic, I was like, wait, where are those beautiful sounds that I used to have?
Yeah.
So I'm still like on the hunt for those.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I think that, and real quick, we want to say good morning to Anya Singer. Thanks so much for hanging out. Welcome to the
Anya.
Oh, wait a minute. That sounds like I know this person. Kind of hello.
Anya and I worked together at Mona Bay. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's super cool. Super cool. Hi,
Anya. Meet Aaron.
Wow, it's a pleasure. Hi, Anya. Such a pleasure. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the show, and thank you so much for stopping by.
Yeah, I just saw Flores on my notifications. I was like,
yes. Yes. I absolutely love it. Good morning to you.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. Good morning. Yeah, Tapora. So it's like, yeah, I'm appreciating that. And so, do you think you're gonna get something from that sample library?
I definitely need to because when I started my production journey, I accidentally got an 8 gigabyte RAM MacBook instead of 16. So I just bought an SSD hard drive to put new samples on. So I've just been like using basic Logic samples. I haven't shopped yet. So this is the first time I'm going to buy piano samples, and I'm super excited.
Wow, that's so cool. That is so cool. The next piano that I'm looking at, they have two out. One is called the Ravenscroft. You might have seen that one before. If you haven't, that's a pretty nice one, Ravenscroft. And then Keyscapes, actually. That's if you get a chance, and if I remember, let me see. I'll DM you real quick. I'll just DM you the name of it real quick.
Okay, cool. I was just trying to write it down.
Okay, Keyscapes. You could that works. Keyscapes. If you get a chance, check out Keyscapes. It may, depending on, because you said the size of your computer and that kind of thing, like it may not be a right now type of thing, but highly, like that's my next one. And I don't buy, like I haven't bought anything in a while, but this makes so much sense. It's really like one of those things where once you get it, pretty much from there on, you'll never desire a piano or electric piano and these other things again, because it's a whole bundle. But the pianos in there are second to none.
Oh my gosh, I'm definitely gonna check it out. Yeah, it's kind of confusing for someone who's just starting to shop samples. I have people that are like, do East West, and then people are like, do Native Instruments, and I got the BBC free download. Yeah. And there's just specific sounds that I'm looking for, and it's it's just gonna be a journey to find them. So
YouTube Keyscapes, and just sit back and listen and see. Okay. Yeah, see if that fits. So I'm excited about this, family. I'm excited. In fact, give me a second. I'm getting ready to switch over my microphone because I'm going to play some piano for you.
Awesome. I'm going to turn my mic off. Yeah.
You're very welcome. This is exciting. And so, let's see. So this track that you all listen to, again, shout out to my favorite producer, one of my most influential producers in my journey, Jay Dilla. This was called Dreamy. Yes. All right, let's see. What shall we play? One of the things for me that I enjoy so much about piano and my approach to piano is improvisation. I actually just enjoy not knowing what I'm going to play and then using that as a moment to allow for just imagination and creation. So with that, let's have some fun. Hold on one second. Oh, and if you all would like to join me live, then you can join me on my Facebook page at Aaron Hill TV. At Aaron Hill TV. Hey, family. I hope that you all enjoyed that. That was my original song.
Yes, very.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes. That was my original song. And that song is called Breath of Life. Breath of Life. And so if you all like that tune, Breath of Life, by all means, all you got to do is just look in my IG profile and you're actually going to see an album there that's called The Serenade Volume 12. The Serenade Volume 12. And you'll see Breath of Life on that album. So I hope that you all enjoyed that. Yes, yes. By all means, if you'd like to open up your microphones, would love to hear from you. See how you doing. Quick check-in before we tie a bow on this experience. Yes, yes. One more time, Sherry. Your phone broke up when you said that.
Oops. I was saying it's good and very relaxing, even though I'm getting ready, so it's very helpful, like Tara said.
Thank you. Oh, I missed Tara too. I just put my headphones back on. Tara, I'm sorry. Did you enjoy it?
Oh, I love that. Thank you. I stepped outside to get a workout, so
nice.
It was everything.
Thank you so much. So appreciate you. Yes, yes. So yes, family, this is good time today as always. Always appreciate you all. Again, if you all are not here from the very beginning, first of all, you know, and this is for anybody that doesn't know, if you ever miss this AP morning show, all you have to do is check either my Facebook page at Aaron Hill TV or my YouTube page at Aaron Hill TV. I have a whole playlist there. And so I document the shows there and we just create these beautiful moments. And so this morning, if you all were not around, and for those that you all were, it was a great time. This morning, I got a chance to interview Rob Thurkelson, who's the virtual bartender at the Cotton Club. And Rob happened to be one of the people that's been in this app like early on. The Cotton Club is an amazing expression that is not only doing amazing things here regularly, but I already know where it's going. They're like, these things are life-changing and they will be known across the globe and across the world. So I'm excited to be the first to interview the bartender of the Cotton Club. That's a real deep honor and legacy for me because, again, I know how significant that is with where things are going. So if you didn't get a chance to check out that conversation, especially when he was telling about those early Clubhouse stories and how it unfolded and how it unfolded for him and how it opened him up to a whole new way of seeing people that he was not used to being around, and now he has a whole different perspective and relation. You just got to hear it. So everybody that was here, we enjoyed it. And so, yeah, family, as we wrap this thing up, I just want to say, as always, you know, I'm standing in accountability with you, wishing you well on your day, and to have an amazing day on purpose. And I love you all. Much love. And so to Ken, to Anya, to Tapora, Tara, Sherry, Amber Delia, Meyer, let's open up our microphones. Let's affirm each other as we go about having a great day today on purpose. Have a wonderful one, peeps. Ken, Meyer, yes.
Have a great day, brothers.
Have a great day,
everyone.
Have a great day, everyone.
Have a good
Love
day.
you.
Bye. Have an awesome day.
Have an awesome day, everyone.